Yo, welcome to Knicks at Night. I'm your co-host, Stephen Fox. Our host, our founder and leader, Uncle Freezy, will be here soon. Well, folks, we got blown out tonight by the Hornets, 109-88, led by Gordon Hayward's 34 points and LaMelo Ball's 14 rebounds and 7 assists. As our record falls to 5-6, we've now lost 3 in a row, our third straight game of our offense struggling and not be able to hitting 90 points. Randle had an off night going for 11-5-5, and RJ's Brick City continues, and he's now missed 19 out of his last 21 three-pointers, and this is after going on an 0 for 21 slump. And these are open looks, and he got to the foul line only 2 times tonight, where he's now shooting a little under 69%. I had major issues with Tibbs tonight. Knox had 17 points in the first half, and Tibbs didn't bring him into the game until 5 minutes left in the third quarter. He never got his rhythm back, and he only scored 2 points in the second half. Also, why did Tibbs leave RJ and Randle in the game when they're losing by 17 with only a few minutes to go? Folks, get ready for a long season, and it looks like we're going to have a really good draft choice. Well, we'll go over the game, recap the players' performance in the video panel and live chat, and let me do a shout-out to my family. Hey, Legion of Knicks podcast kicks it off, ladies and gentlemen, with a super chat. Thank you so much, Guillermo. Licensing fees for using the Blarnge Tears debate format for a Chuck versus Joe battle. Man, you're the coolest. Daryl Pemberton, hope all is well. Thank you so much. He's another one that's wonderfully generous with his super chats. Mind Motivation, Kodak Vlogs, Big Task at Hand, Felipe 210, Dad OM, Muhammad Thomas, hope all is well. We'll get back to a lot of you during the show tonight, but please remember to hit those likes, subscribe, or remind the bells so you don't miss out on any Knicks at Night and Knicks Morning Drive broadcasts. And please share this link on your favorite social media platforms so we can grow the Blarnge Tears family. And thanks again for helping us get over 1,230 subscribers. 1,500, here we come. We greatly appreciate it. Gentlemen, good evening. How are you?
Good. How's it going, Stephen?
Good. It's going well.
How are you, Stephen? How are you?
I'm doing well. So, fellas, that was awful painful tonight, and Bullock, as we know, was out with his hip. Burks is still out. Obi's still out. Frank's still out, and the starting lineup was Rozier, Graham, Biyombo, Hayward, and Washington, and our new thing. I thought it was going to be Knox tonight, but he decided to go with Payton, RJ, Rivers, Randle, and Mitch. And I will ask you to do me a favor tonight. Please continue to look at the chat during as the night goes on to ensure that the thoughts and questions of our Knicks at Night family are heard loud and clear. So you know the format. We'll start off with you, Mr. Wright, the man with the velvet voice, also the golden voice. At a high level, what was your thoughts about the game tonight? Oh, I love that little giggle.
You know, I spent so long. So, I'm going to give the people what they want because I spent so long and argued very fervently about a certain player on our team. And all I said was I wanted him to have the opportunity. That's all. I just wanted him to shoot the ball. And I believe that good things would happen. And they did. This game was lost by Tom Thibodeau on several fronts. Because are the Hornets, are they 20 points better than we are? No, they're not. I've said this many, many, many times that Tom Thibodeau has a stubbornness about him with his rotations. That he will not substitute within the flow of a game. And you can quite honestly say that tonight, his substitutions were in opposite of the flow of the game. He took the one person
who was hot,
who was scoring, who was shooting, and put him on the bench for no reason whatsoever.
And really let a whole quarter go by almost.
And I don't know how many people are going to continue to give RJ excuses. about his inability to shoot the ball, regardless of the numbers that RJ puts up, the rebounds and assists and everything else. If he shoots you out of a game, then everything else is a moot point. I can't sit here and say that the guy who's getting the most shots or the second most shots on a consistent basis, oh, he's rebounding and he's getting assists. No, if he is constantly shooting you at the game and interrupting the flow of a team, then he is a negative. And there's going to be people who say, oh, this is his second year. And this is RJ's 83rd game tonight. 83rd. This is his second year. He spent 9 months shooting and hiring shooting coaches and doing whatever he needs to do. And RJ Barrett has taken 50 3-point shots this year. 50. RJ Barrett has made 9 3-point shots.
18%
out of 50. There's no excuse for that whatsoever. There's a certain point you had to realize, you know what, I think this well is empty. And you need to find something else to do. We can talk about Elfrid Payton and him continuously slowing the offense down to almost a screeching halt. We can talk about, Julius Randle being tired and playing 30 minutes in another blowout game, being ineffective. But this falls on Tom Thibodeau.
That's how I felt, and you got to tell people. Some people may think that we talk behind the scenes on this. We try to come in fresh and everything. I said the same thing as you did in my opening. And did we talk prior to it?
No.
Yeah, so we felt the same way, man.
But there's going to be people who are going to want to rain on my parade and say that Knox didn't do anything in the second half. And for those people who say that have never played any kind of basketball ever, unless your name is Steph Curry or someone of that ilk, no one stays hot for an entire game. That rarely ever happens. You get hot and you kind of want to ride that while it's going. Especially in a half, because there was no point for Kevin Knox to come out the game in the second quarter. There was no point in that whatsoever. But we'll
get into all the details in a second. We're really blessed tonight. We have a famous Arctic explorer with us tonight, Sir Guillermo, smoking his pipe, and just got back from an expedition where he saw. How are you tonight, Guillermo?
I'm good, man. I had no problem with the game. Again, these are growing pains. People are delusional to think that the Knicks were going to the players because of a 5-3 record. It felt good at the time, but again, this is development. When you have to put down a player in RJ to make your play feel good because he finally pops, like we said, once in every 5 games, and then disappears in the second half. But he was the best player. He was the best player tonight. I ain't taking that away from him. He shot well. RJ has to find other things to do, like rebound and assist, which he had 5 assists tonight, which is actually more than Elfrid Payton, the point guard. And I believe he also had how many assists? How many rebounds tonight? Was it 9 or 7?
9.
Right, 9 rebounds. And by the way, Kevin Knox, when he's not shooting, he's averaging 0.9 assists this year, 2.6 rebounds for his career, 1 assist, 3.6 rebounds for a 6'9" guy. So it's weird how we change our criteria based on who we like. You know what I mean? Again, Knox had played well in the first half. That's all you have to say, right? When we look at this team, it's a development, right? When we had some of these wins, again, some of these wins were on the skin of our teeth, right? We have to see how these guys can shoot. How can you evaluate if a player can become good if he's not allowed to get through his growing pains? right? How does Payton Manning become good without throwing 28 interceptions in his rookie year? You know what I mean? Again, I'm not sitting here making excuses. If the kid RJ doesn't pan out by his end of his rookie contract, you get rid of him. You move on from him. But it's like, this is Knicks fans for you guys. And this partially may be why people want to come here, because it's like the kid is 20. He had these flaws coming in from college. He's working on these flaws. I'm pretty sure Tom Thibodeau, a kid who's also getting 30-something minutes a night, I'm pretty sure Tom Thibodeau saying, hey, shoot these shots because I want you to miss them. I want you to be more cerebral with them, right? But because he's not making them, we're killing him and saying, oh, we got to trade him. We got to get rid of him. And then we want players to come over here and do what? You know how many guys have become good shooters in the NBA? Jaylen Brown, his first year was not a good shooter. You had people in Celtics, I guess, too, in Boston. Those guys were saying get rid of Jaylen Brown for the same thing. Now, if you mention Jaylen Brown's name, it's sacred over there. How dare you talk about Jaylen Brown? The kid shot last year 38% from three. I'm not saying RJ's going to be that. But again, you allow a kid time to develop, especially if he's on the court able to do other things, which Kevin Knox, he had 3 years doing here, still never became a plus defender, still never became a plus assist person, still never became a plus rebounder. And yet we afforded him time despite his regression, even though he got less minutes last year. We afforded him time. And when he went to the bench, because people like say, put RJ to the bench. When Knox went to the bench last year for Marcus Morris, did that help out his game? No, the crowd goes silent. Again, I'm giving a kid who, at least in his first year, he may not be a good shooter and he has been inefficient. I'm giving him time to grow on a team that's really not that filled up with talent. Now, we could talk about, it would be a better thing to talk about how we deploy him. You could talk about putting more in the post, put more down low. He had an excellent pass to Mitch that came from Randle where he gave it right back to Mitch. Right? I don't know if people remember that, but again, I would like to see RJ more in the post, and like I said, even though I disagree with Coach Colorbox, I like to see him as a zone breaker, like how they used Rondo last year. But again, let's kill a 20-year-old who still gives you rebounds, who had more assists than your prime point guard tonight. Let's kill him and throw him on the bus, but let's hooray for Kevin Knox, who gives you a good game like this once out of every 5 games. Let's do that to RJ Barrett, and let's praise Knox, who's been for 3 years and can't do anything else but shoot on occasion. Just saying, man.
And by the way, Rivers only had 1 assist tonight too. Which
Wow.
Yeah.
RJ needs to find other things to do on the court.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Guillermo, Jaylen Brown in his rookie year shot basically 69% from the foul line, which is equal to what RJ's shooting now. But he shot 34% from 3 in his rookie season. Not 18% that's going.
And fair enough, but coming from Cal, he was also not known not to be a good shooter.
No doubt.
So again, you're talking about a kid who's still working on his game. The guy hired his own, he hired a shooter coach from last year, and we want to bury the kid. He has not finished a rookie season because people say, oh, well, his rookie season. But we give, how many excuses have I heard on this channel about Knox, who's been there for 3 years and couldn't pop? He needs a point guard to help him. But you, Stephen Fox, said the same thing. He said, "Does Kevin Knox?"
I could have sworn we were talking about the game tonight and not a comparison of the 2 players.
I didn't interrupt when you talk.
I'm just saying. I thought we were talking about the game.
Hold on. I'll be done.
Sound like smoke.
You're the same guy. You're the same guy. I don't think the same guy said you don't.
I just thought we were talking about the overall the impressions of the game tonight, not a comparison of 2 players.
Did I interrupt you when you talk?
Okay, go ahead.
Steven, you're the same guy that said that you don't need somebody to help a point guard to help you rebound better, pass better, or defend better. And Kevin Knox, compared to RJ Barrett, does not do that better. Now, Kevin Knox, I still think is a talent, and today's night game was good. Let's not bury Kevin Knox. Let's not bury RJ to lift up Kevin Knox, who again had a good game out of how many games?
And you know another key statistic for Knox tonight? He never got to the line.
Yeah.
So
RJ has to do other things. Got you.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing? Stephen?
Please.
I don't know when it was. It might have been a week or 2 weeks ago. It might have been at the first game of the season when I said it's so funny how because this is when RJ had a great game and Knox was, as everyone say, trash. I said it's so funny how you can build up one player and tear another one down, but then when the shoe is on the other foot, they want to use that argument against. They want to flip the argument. I'm just saying that I'm just saying that. It's just funny how that happened. I said the same thing, Chuck. I literally said the same thing. I didn't come in here and make this about 2 players. I didn't do that at all. I went down the list of
we got a long
every
night
player.
here. Let's get to Ralph.
I didn't make this about 2 players. I said several players who were bad tonight. You made this about two players, not me.
He
We can rewind the tape.
and RJ.
I did not make this about Kevin Knox versus RJ Barrett.
All right, let's go. Ralphie.
Yep. Take it, Ralph. How are you?
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Truth be told, both those guys made a good points. Kevin Knox is trending up, man. He got 29 minutes today. He shot the ball well. I like the confidence he's playing. I like the production he's providing. So gotta give props to Kevin Knox for his shooting, for his confidence, and for his ability to shoot. I give credit to Julius Randle too. I think Julius Randle also is playing a role in helping out Kevin Knox build his confidence. I guess when somebody passes the ball to you with confidence.
I love the game. We'll get into the players in detail a little later.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, so I gotta give credit to Julius Randle with Kevin Knox. But to talk about RJ, I like RJ's rebounding and I like his assists.
We're not talking about RJ.
Oh, okay, cool. So,
yeah.
What's the question? What's the real question?
It was just a high level overview of the game, and then we'll get into the players in detail.
Tough game. Sorry, I got listening to these two guys, but tough game. And that's that. I'm gonna keep it short. Sorry about that, guys.
No worries. Charles B. Some of you know him as Chuck. I know him as King Charles. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm good.
And your thoughts of the game?
This game was over early. Knox shot us back into the game, and Quickley and RJ shot us out of the game. That's it.
That's well said. Hey, quick shout out for the super chat to Jonathan JD. Thank you, JD. Appreciate it. He said, I, like many that will show up to the show tonight, are here for the Kevin W show. You all know what I mean. Let's see if anyone wants to see that Kevin W smoke. And he also said, man just said, turn into Kevin W show. So thanks for the shout out, Ron. We always appreciate your support. And thank you, JD, for the super chats. Just real quick, Ishmael Rivas, my brother from the Bronx, hope all is well. Again, Kodak Vlogs, Robert Kahn, Travi Trav, Robert Parr. Again, morning, noon, and night. Appreciate it. Pseudonym Skype. Chris B. I'll get to you guys during the show tonight. Thank you. Let's hear your questions, your thoughts. We love when we interact with you. So we're going to kick it off with you, Kevin, with Elfrid Payton. First half, 6 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, no steals, 2 turnovers. He finished the game with 15 points, 7 for 14 shooting, 1 for 3 from 3, 0 for 2 from the line, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, no blocks, 3 turnovers in 31 minutes, a negative 24.
The guard play of the Knicks is bad. Other guards kill us. They just do. It's been the weakness of this team for I don't know how long. Elfrid Payton better be glad that Scott Perry is a loyal person. Because if not, he probably wouldn't have a job. Elfrid Payton does nothing but slow down the tempo of this team. The other teams like to get out in transition and push it. But even though we actually had more fast break points, it's the difference between playing having fast breaks and having an up tempo. We don't have any kind of tempo whatsoever.
Yeah, we had 7 fast break points tonight. And we're also last in the league in points from turnovers.
And so it's just we need another. I said last night that I don't see what the harm could be from playing DSJ at this point in time.
I totally agree.
If it's not DSJ, then we had to find another point guard to come in here to do something to give us some kind of productivity, because Elfrid Payton's numbers are just deceitful. They're just deceitful. I get just discouraged when I talk about Elfrid Payton, because he is single-handedly bringing his team down on both sides of the court. It's actually it's disheartening to talk about Elfrid Payton. So that's all I got to say about Elfrid Payton.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to go to you, Guillermo, in a second. My buddy Robert Parr said he had so much time on his hands during the game he decided to bake an apple pie. Hey, I don't blame you. Hey, I bake bread, so I'm into bread making. So we should exchange recipes someday. But Guillermo, what'd you think about Elfrid?
Again, he's not going to be the point guard of the future for this team. We all know that. It's obvious. Slows up the pace. He gets to the basket. Does he finish adequately at the basket at times? Most of the time, no. Again, he can't live without Randle. People talk about Randle's usage, and it's like he really can't create away from Randle. He did get some assists to a Knox, so I guess that was good. He had the fast break, and then I think he had one where he passed it off to Knox in one of the corners. But again, when people complain about pace, again, is it really so? Him by himself, he can't live without Randle. But again, Tom Thibodeau does not play with pace, so you have to put that on part of Tom Thibodeau. That's just not his game. So he likes somebody to set up the offense and so-called get a high probability shot. But the problem is we don't have scorers like that who can hit those shots, deep into the shot clock. And so it's just we're in a weird quagmire with Elfrid Payton. But again, gotta go for Payton, man. If he's at tonight, he had less assists than, I'm not trying to go up to RJ, but he had less assists than RJ. So I mean that goes to tell you that he's just not that high level of a point guard. He had some turnovers too. One fairly early on where he he's just I don't know. I don't have much to say about Elfrid Payton. It's like he's not going to be here. DSJ, I'm good on DSJ too. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a point guard of the future. Point guard of the future thing is going to come from either the draft or free agency if we can get one, or trade. I don't think DSJ is it, because I think DSJ truly needs like G League. If you guys complain about Elfrid Payton, DSJ is several steps below Elfrid Payton in IQ.
That's right.
So let's not, at least at the very least, Elfrid Payton can still, at times get to the basket. You've seen some prolific games and even games now, he just doesn't make them. But DSJ has a major issue getting to the basket. His athleticism is sapped. So I'm cool on DSJ as well.
Cool. Hey, Ralph, your thoughts on Payton tonight?
Great point by Guillermo. He's the best we got at the moment. Hopefully,
Elfrid or Guillermo?
Elfrid.
Oh, okay.
And hopefully DSJ gets coached up. I do think that he has potential, but it's all I have to see. He did have 5 steals in preseason, and hopefully when he gets minutes on the floor, hopefully he can bring some of that defense. And we have to see. So right now, Payton is the best we got, and I don't believe it's all Elfrid's fault why we're losing. It's the whole team. The whole team, like I like what Tibbs said. The whole team is the reason why we're in this losing streak. We got to dig ourselves out of it. So everybody got to step.
Ralph, what do you think he's going to say? Yeah, RJ sucks, man. The guy's been shooting 9 for 45 or 9 for 50. He instead of making it individual, he collectively says the team. But there's certain players on this team that are supposed to be the franchise or the foundation of this future, and we're finding out that there's some real flaws to their game.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you guys watch the MSG after the game tonight? Did you hear Wally talk at all?
Mm-hmm.
Wally was echoing Coach Colorblocks, man. He was saying, when you get to the NBA, I don't mean anything. And
yes,
for those of you who knew Wally when he played, Wally can shoot. Wally was a very, very good shooter.
Yes, he was.
And he said that this is not the place to learn how or change your shot, man. You got to, by the time you hit the NBA, you should have your shot. And you're just going to mess with a kid's head if you just keep messing with their mechanics. But he also said what Coach Collerblock says, this is pretty much, once you go 0 for 21 and then go, 19 out of 21 now. This is who he is. He's never going to be a good shooter.
He said something about he used to shoot behind the back of his head, something like.
And his dad worked with him in high school, so before he got from a maturation point, his dad fixed his mechanics early, and he worked on that with the touch and everything. But he just said, this is the NBA, man. This is the elite thing. It's not the place where you start learning how to shoot. One thing is making little tweaks here or there, but to totally Rob was saying, we got to break them down and rebuild them. While he was saying this is not, you don't do that in this league.
You mean like Trevor Ariza, Wilson Chandler, Kemba Walker. Again, I bring up Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown only averaged 1.7, I think, attempts from three his first year, so 34% is not. And again, from Cal, he shot poorly. So again, it's perspective, right? We have a season where literally we're not going to the playoffs. The season we're having now is what we should have done under Fizdale his first year. See what you guys have in the young guys and then build from there. Okay, this guy's not a shooter or whatever, or blah, blah. Can he fix his form? And RJ's really fixed his form once, right? Like, again, there are plenty of examples of guys who found their jump shots later on in their careers. Like, as long as this guy's productive in other ways, and you could stop him from shooting as many threes. I agree with that. Get him to go in the mid-range, get him to attack the basket more, less about the threes. I mean, if you can develop from there, but what Wally's talking about, like, I don't know. This is the same Wally who never played defense for the Wolves, so maybe he's good with saying what he was, because he's a defensive.
Oh, he was a nightmare, but we were just talking about he does know his shooting. So,
but he's a natural. Okay, I'm not trying to make an excuse for RJ. But you're talking about a 20-year-old kid on a team that's going, I won't say nowhere, but win-wise, we're not going here. So why not work on those things? Because they're examples of guys who improve their jump shots later on in their careers. Like, why doesn't anybody mention that precedent? It's just like, the NBA is not a place where you can improve your shot. But it's like there are a bunch of guys who did that, who became adequate shooters. Trevor Ariza was on a championship team. I forgot how much he shot, but he became a mid, maybe slightly high, 37 maybe percent. I don't know the exact numbers, 3% shooter. For the Lakers, for the Rockets, you're gonna sit and tell him, don't shoot, because he was on the Knicks and he was a defensive, athletic defensive kid with no jump shot. Wilson Chandler used to shoot the ball like a yoga form, and he became an adequate enough shooter later on in his career because he worked at it. Like, it's all about work ethic. You want to change your shot, you can do it. LeBron James shot 31.3%, I believe, his rookie year. Not saying he's a great shooter now, but he can shoot the shot. He can shoot the mid-range. He can shoot the three a little bit. So it's like, what did he? I don't know. I'll let somebody else talk. My bad.
Yeah, but Guillermo, before I go to Chuck, did you see the shot chart on RJ tonight?
Yeah.
Majority of his misses were in the paint.
Yeah, so wait, hold up. But are we talking about his shooting or his finishing at the basket now?
Just basically putting the ball in the hole. So we know already that he's in a slump from the outside of three, but he's also not hitting inside the paint.
Yeah, so stop him from playing, right? Just put him on the bench, or
no? I didn't say that.
So then let's talk about the actual things that we see on the court. Like when Chuck brought up that he goes to his left, and the way when he goes to play, he kind of pushes off and he has a lot of space. Let's talk about that versus, he shouldn't shoot because he's missing now. Like where's a context as to, is this guy in the post a lot? Is he in places where he can actually make those shots? And you don't see it. You still see him in the places where shooters are supposed to be, right? And he had a few plays, granted he did miss, but a few drives on the baseline where it's like, it was right there. He just missed it.
I think he's talking shooting. I think he's talking shooting slump, Guillermo. I think it's
possible. I know he's talking about. But I'm saying that you're going between shooting and him at the basket. Now, him at the basket, executing a get basket. Are you saying that he can't do that?
No, I'm just saying that some guys sometimes some guys hit, their outside shot gets hit, but they're still effective, in their mid range or in the paint. He's bricking regardless wherever it is.
He's also playing how many minutes a night?
No, I'm not disputing it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You have to talk about other. And again, I'm not making excuse for RJ. If RJ sucks as a shooter, as a scorer, and still efficient by say the end of his rookie, I'm fine to move on. Even if next year you find somebody better than him, move on. But for this season, where guys should be able to get out their games and to work on their games and play it ugly, let's focus on, okay, why is he always going to his left? He says he's right-hand ambidextrous. Never see him going to his right. Never see him kiss off the backboard. Is Thibodeau telling him, hey, just shoot, just play out there, go out and shoot? I know. And RJ's like, hey, guy, I'm not shooting well. Let me try to do this and do that. He's like, no, I want you to shoot so we can see if you can shoot. We don't know what's going on. Because a few games ago, Tom Thibodeau said, I like what I see from RJ. Right? Anybody believes that crap, but he said he likes what he sees from RJ.
I actually do too. I actually do too. I like his. I'm really a big fan of his rebounding right now. I'm a big fan of his rebounding, and I said it yesterday. When he has 4 or 5 assists, I tend to be in good terms with RJ. So I like his rebounding today. I like his assists. Now the criticism coming from the shooting, I'm not going to dispute that. Can't defend that. But I like that he's opening up his game in different levels of. I could be a rebounder for this team, and I can also help. And I could possibly look today.
Hey, Ralph, we're going to get into RJ in a second.
I promise I'll be fast. I can
Okay.
get back to Woo.
Payton.
Dang. Oh man, I had no expectations for Payton. So what you see is what you get. Basically, there's no. I can't knock somebody that I knew what they were already, and I had no expectations for. Tonight he was second in points, third in rebounds, and third in assists, and shot 50% from the field. We all know he can't lead a team, but he's the best we have at the moment. That's all.
Okay. Hey, Guillermo, I'm going to swing it to you in a second. Let me just do a quick shout out to our family. Gregory Castillo, I hope all is well. Trav. Hey, Josh, a.k.a. Uncle Fulio, hope all is well. Esco 12 Tribes. Thanks, everyone. Trizzy Trey. Thesis Thomas. A lot of our regulars. Just please remember to hit those like, subscribe, remind the bell so you don't miss out on any Knicks at Night and Knicks Morning Drive broadcasts. And please share this link on your favorite social media platforms so we can grow the Blarence Tears family. And thanks again for getting us over the 1,230 subscriber milestone. 1,500, here we come. We greatly appreciate it. Also, a shout out to the best mods on the planet, Sima Singh, Bodega Wi-Fi, and the new Knicks. We appreciate all that you do. So, Guillermo,
Sure.
RJ, first half, 2 points on 1 for 7 shooting, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, no steals, no blocks, no turnovers. He finished the game with 11 points, 5 for 18 shooting, 0-5 from 3, again shooting 18% now for the season, 1 for 2 from the line, and he's now dropped down to, I'll round it off, 69% from the line, 9 rebounds, which means he got only 3 in the second half, 5 assists, no steals, no blocks, 1 turnover in 35 minutes. He was a negative 13 on the night. Pardon me. And just the notes that I sometimes when you see the game and then you hear it a little later. Here are my notes from the game. Misses uncontested 3-pointer, bricks it from the top of the key. Bricks a 3-pointer on a kick out from Payton. Pass to Payton, who misses floater in paint. Misses layup level shot in paint, switches to right hand, but not to no avail. Pass to Quick, who drives and gets an and 1. Uncontested brick, 3-pointer, he bricks, not even close, from pass from Quick. At this time, he was missing 17 out of his last 19. Coast-to-coast floater for 2. Knicks take a 38-37 lead. Pass to Quick for a miss on uncontested long 3. Air ball 3-pointer after getting kicked out by Quick. At that point, 18 out of 20 he's missed now. Kick out to Knox, who misses on uncontested 3-pointer. Rebound by Payton, who got fouled. Shot blocked by Hayward in paint. I wrote, kid has no hops at all. 1 for 8 at that point tonight. Bricks a 3-pointer from a pass from Rivers. Now he's missed 19 out of 21. Misses a reverse layup from pass from Randle. Misses another reverse layup from Randle again. Again, kid has no hops or lift. Now he's 1 out of 11. Kick out to Rivers, who hit a 3-pointer. Lob pass to Mitch for a lay-in. Gets pass from Payton. Passes up 3-pointer. Drives for a dunk. Drives for a layup after pass from Randle. Totally brick shot high off glass. Kick out to Rivers. Misses 3-pointer. Tips in missed 3-pointer by Quick. Has ball stolen by Bridges. drives for 2 after pass from Knox, fouled while shooting, and Paint shoots 1 for 2. The first free throw was a major brick. Nice pass to Mitch and Paint for a jam. Drives and gets shot blocked again by Bridges. Pass to Payton, drives for 2. Pass for Knox, who misses an uncontested three-pointer. So those were my play-by-play on RJ tonight. So, Guillermo, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, that ugly game. He was selling for shots. I wrote that down. Especially shots from the outside in the corner. First half is sorry. Yeah, he had in the second quarter had a few baseline drives I like. I think one he missed. Again, he's pressing right now, playing a lot of minutes. Even how they use him when we go into zone. I mean, it took until the second half where you actually saw them use zone breaker, right, to get proper space. A lot of times you play 5 out on the perimeter, and he's not the type of player, at least not yet. You know what I mean? I said a suggestion to play him as zone breaker like they did with Rondo in the Lakers series last year against the Heat, where he catches the ball at that foul line. He could distribute it to one of the corners, get it to Randle or Mitch, who's ever down low, probably Mitch for the alley, or throw up a floater. Another thing to play ugly off the backboard, and if you can, get into more posts, right? But Tom Thibodeau's not using him. He's using him on the outside. And I think that Tom Thibodeau is put in a position to say, hey, shoot. I mean, we don't know what's going on, right? But if you see a coach continue to use a player in a certain way, maybe that coach is saying, hey, I want you to get better at such and such, right? So again, people try to bury RJ for a kid who's still 20. And it's like, if the kid is doing bad by year 3 or whatever, or 2 years from now, whenever his rookie contract is up and you have a better option, then fair enough. But when he does good, the same people talking about bench him and all that stuff, they were the same guys after the Pacers game praising him. So I'm just saying, be consistent. We have a team with a bunch of young kids, young disjointed draft. And when I say disjointed, the fact that they got drafted by regimes or, last year you have Steve Mills who's basically on his way out. So, I mean, you're talking about Tom Thibodeau coming in and trying to reform or trying to find a value in some of these kids. You're going to see ugly games, right? And I'm not making no excuse for RJ, but again, I have no problem with this. I mean, I would love to see him attack the basketball more, work on his right. Like I said, work as zone breaker, where he can then kick out and do whatever and pass out to, yes, 3 options, right? Triple threat from the foul line. But again, he just does other things on the court. And again, he did only have 3 more rebounds in the second half. But again, he just does a lot of things that I feel like that you can mold him into something. But again, not a good game. And I remember he had a steal, or he tried to get a steal against Terry Rozier. I believe it was in the first quarter. First quarter, definitely first half.
It was a deflection.
Back, and he was tied. Like you could see him trying to get back on Rozier, and it's like he almost pulled a Randle where he was almost jogging with the guy because he was just bone tired. So again, I'm not trying to make an excuse for him, but again, they're using him a lot. I still think it should start. But again, if RJ, if there's such an option for RJ, or there's a better option, why aren't they playing? Why is RJ and Randle getting so many minutes? Randle has way more positive and better impact when he's on the floor overall for these past few games. But again, this is what Thibodeau wants to see from him. And the thing about it, we don't want to go into next year thinking about, damn, did we underuse? Did we miss something on RJ? Because it'd be the same fan base if RJ went someplace else, right? And he found it. Then we'd be like, oh my gosh, I wanted RJ. And the same people saying, I never said that. So I'm just saying, let's be patient for a kid still in his rookie season playing on a team that's really going nowhere. What else? We're looking for playoffs, or we're looking for development from a kid who's shown you in flash here and there. So,
yeah, but you keep.
Can I ask a question?
Just one half a sec. You keep bringing up Jaylen Brown, but Jaylen Brown has so much more athleticism and hops than RJ will ever have. So there's other elements to his game that he could use that. So take it, Kev.
Yeah, whoa. Before you do that, Stephen, no, I'm sorry, Stephen, you can't do that. Athleticism hops, but it's all about production, right? So if
no doubt.
So if RJ,
we continue to see the kid get his shot blocked. We see on his reverse jams, he barely's coming up. So if he's that exhausted and his legs are that dead, we're on the reverse 2 reverse layups tonight. He barely, had any lift to make the shot, and that's why he missed them both. That if he's that exhausted, then they do need to sit him or something. But you don't see that with Jaylen Brown.
the point when Jaylen Brown was shooting, not his athleticism. So that's
I know, but his all-around game. There's times he's around the rim like that. He's not going for a reverse layup. He's going for a reverse jam.
Yeah, because he has more athleticism. But the comparison between him and RJ was the shooting and the development of shooting.
Okay. Take it, Kev.
I've honestly forgot what I was going to say. That I mean, unless you're going to come to me with the whole RJ.
I am.
Oh,
so. Well, we can do that, and I'll just follow up with Ralph. And
I'm going to say this, and ever since I first came on this show, I have been adamant when I say that I don't dislike RJ at all. I said when
none of us do. We're just saying facts.
I just, when people think that I'm critical of RJ, they want to get on me because it's like, oh, I'm never critical about Kevin Knox, and RJ has shown more than Knox, and it's like, so it leaves me at a position where it's like, if I'm ever critical, they want to jump on me because I'm never critical on Kevin Knox. With this, because RJ is elevated in the eyes of many, his style of play should be able to be critiqued above those that he's elevated above. RJ Barrett is supposed to be a scorer. RJ Barrett is not supposed to be a rebounder. RJ Barrett is not supposed to be a facilitator. RJ Barrett is supposed to be a scorer. Just because he does those other things does not mean that that's what he is. He is supposed to score. Now, with that being said, if he is scoring at an inefficient clip, then something is wrong. It's something that should be critiqued. Now, I've always been on the record as saying that RJ and Kevin need each other. They complement each other better than any two players on the team. If you just look at their skill sets together, I want RJ and Kevin to grow together. I think RJ's tired. He's 20. But, I mean, I was 20, and I played basketball, and I was still tired. And I wasn't in the NBA. He has to make the game easier for himself. Tom Thibodeau has to make the game easier for RJ. He's pressing, and you can tell. And I said this the other day that his demeanor has changed. Like he's thinking, "What am I doing wrong?" And it is affecting him.
Yeah, how many shots did you see him at 3? All of a sudden, change his mind and then start dribble up from it. So you can see he can't make a decision.
I hope that it's something that isn't long term, because the psyche of an athlete is, especially a young athlete, can be kind of fragile, regardless of whatever kind of heart or grit that you think this player has. A psyche of a young player can be fragile if they're struggling and they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. These are matchups because RJ should be. He went up against Rozier, and I forgot who he played last game. Lord. The last 3 games, he's going up against matchups offensively that he should have had the advantage. If RJ wants to play bully ball, he has not done that against smaller players. We all want to sit here and say, oh, RJ dominates against smaller 2s. Well, he's not doing it. If he's not doing the thing that he's supposed to be good at, then that's something that's wrong. Don't stop settling for these 3s. If you're going to play bully ball, if that's what everyone says, oh, RJ's supposed to be, this is what he's good at, he's supposed to be dominating against people who's smaller than, then do it. But you say if he's not the most athletic person, then that might be. I think RJ is more athletic than people give him credit for. I mean, he's never going to be like Vince Carter or anything. But I said this the other day.
I'll jump in where it's natural.
I'm sorry.
I just feel like he should work more in the mid-range. It seemed to be kind of effective for him last game, and maybe that's where his niche should be. So That's my
Guillermo, you had a thought?
So, Kevin, how many when RJ got drafted, how many his year in college? How many assists and rebounds did he average?
I don't know.
Well, then you shouldn't say what he was expected to come out of college. He was expected to be a versatile scorer or a versatile player. Excuse me. He averaged 7.3 rebounds in college, about 4 assists for that year in college. So he was seen as a versatile player. So
A lot of that, I can tell you this: watching a lot of Duke games, a lot of that was because I mean I don't know the stats. I saw him play,
but you just
and a lot of that is because Zion Williamson missed a lot. So RJ Barrett had a lot on his plate. That's why RJ's numbers looked the way they did. Because when Zion went down with that, I don't recall the sneaker injury. Zion had to do so much more. Because if you know anything about Duke, you would know.
RJ, you meant RJ.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
Zion. That's cool.
Oh, I mean, RJ. When Zion went down, RJ had a lot on his plate. Because if you watch Duke, you know that Cam Reddish disappeared. Like Cam Reddish is afraid of the big spotlight.
No, Cam Reddish is used differently at Duke. He's used as a shooter. He wasn't allowed to be on ball at Duke.
Well, I can tell you, Cam Reddish disappeared. Like he disappeared.
He wasn't used like that at Duke.
Well, he was supposed to step up. That's the thing. When Zion went down, RJ and Cam were supposed to step up, and RJ did, and Cam didn't. Those are the facts. Regardless of how he was supposed to have been used, the fact that he didn't step up in those games. Like I said, I watched Duke. I literally lived down the street, so I just know how he was. I know what the eye test. Because sometimes people fall in love with numbers and stats, and they just want to forget what their eyes tell them.
So what about the rebounds? What did the eye test tell you with the rebounds? Like they were cheap rebounds or something? Or?
Who for RJ?
RJ, 7.3 rebounds. Is that just like cheap rebounds or?
No, like I said, RJ had to do a lot more. A whole lot more.
So splits like went crazy.
If I'm not mistaken, who was the point guard?
Trey.
Because Trey Jones was hurt too. So RJ had a lot to do on his plate.
Yeah.
That means you get, and also you said real quick before you go on, you keep saying to body guys, right? Because teams are playing a lot more zone, so RJ's not getting one-on-one matchups cleanly. No one really is, for the most part on his team.
I said this yesterday. I said
you just said that he should be expected to bully players, but they're not playing one-on-one. Even Randle is impact when we talk about being physical and stuff like that. They're literally whenever he gets into a post against these zones, they are triple teaming him. So he's not even getting clean one-on-one looks against guys. So again, with RJ, when we talk about he's supposed to bully this or that, granted, I'll agree with you that you wish that he was a better shooter to open up other players in the zone. But again, he's not getting one-on-one matchups against Graham. They played 3-2 tonight, 2-3 tonight. They're throwing different looks at anybody up top. So again, that comment with RJ, he was expected to dominate these guys. He's just not getting it.
No, I feel there's times in the game because here's the thing: RJ does get to the rim.
Baseline. Oh, yeah, you got a lot tonight. Baseline.
Just third in the league last year getting to the rim.
And this year, even at the rim, just like kind of like Elfrid Payton, he's not finishing around the rim. And you can see like he misses a lot of layups that he gets. And that's on RJ. That's not something that the defense is doing. He's missing layups. So I said this last night, it's because this is a Thibodeau thing. Is the thing about we don't have, I like Quickley. I do. But right now, Quickley is in this place where he's really going through the rookie motions. And Rivers isn't a natural point guard. Rivers is an off-ball shooter, really, if you think about it. That's what his role has always kind of been in the NBA. He's never been a primary ball handler in an offense. So we don't have anybody that can – we all know to beat the zone, you have to shoot. There's gaps in the zones that allow good shooting teams to exploit that, to get you out of playing zone. But Mitch doesn't shoot. Not even can't. He doesn't. Elfrid Payton can't shoot. Julius Randle is an okay shooter. I don't even want to talk about Reggie Bullock. I really don't.
Thank God we don't have
RJ
to tonight.
RJ is surrounded by non-shooters. And that is something that's if he played with a better cast of shooters, RJ Barrett's productivity would be better.
Okay. Hey Chuck, I'm gonna kick it to you, but just a interesting thing on RJ, home versus the road. And I know there's no fans in there today, but they coming into the game tonight, 5 games on the road, 5 games at home. He's averaging 20 points a game, RJ, on the road, and 12.8 points at home. He's shooting from 3-point. He's shooting 33% on the road, and he's shooting 5%. He's 1 for 21 at MSG shooting for 3. So even though there's no fans there, it's remarkable that for some reason he doesn't feel as comfortable there as he does. And again, it's a small sample. I know that, but it's pretty much showing that that he something, he may be a little intimidated playing there or something. So take it, Chuck. What's your thoughts? Real quick, just a quick shout out to Sim. Nothing but Knicks. Man, was it nice to see you back on tonight. It was like a warm feeling in the belly. Welcome back, my friend. Take it, Chuck.
Okay. He's playing out of role, which isn't his fault due to the roster construction. The second option don't fit him, and 16 attempts per is high. He's shooting way too many jumpers for a guy with no range. His strength is driving, but his weakness is finishing. Those two things cancel each other out. Short, sweet, right.
Sorry it took so long to get to you, Chuck. But hey, Ralph, what's your thoughts tonight on RJ?
Again, I like his passing. I like the 5 assists. I like his 9 rebounds. So that's something that I would like to see more from RJ. I like that Tip said he can be a dynamic player for the team. I think when he talks about him being a dynamic player, I think that it's his 9 rebounds and his 5 assists. That's something that I'm actually looking for RJ to be a rebounder for this team. And I don't know, secondary playmaker, third playmaker for the team. That would be a good option for him. Some people may want RJ to average 15 points, 20 points, 25 points. If he's averaging 10, 8, and 5, I'll be happy with that with this season. That's just my thinking. A lot of people may disagree with me. But again, I'm really critical about this season, his rebounding and his assist numbers. That's all I really care about him. Now, I do agree about the criticism about him taking a lot of shots. Great point, Chuck, and as well as Kev, and all those points about about his shot selections and his shot attempts. I can't dispute that. But for me personally, he don't have to take more than 10 shots for me to be happy. And
he's a 3rd overall pick.
But I like his rebounds and assists, and he can average 10 to 12 points. I'll be happy with that with this season, and I can anticipate a better season next season, from my personal opinion. I want to keep it short so other people can talk.
Okay. Hey Chuck, I'm going to kick it to you. We're gonna swing over and talk about Austin Rivers.
Okay.
So Austin Rivers, and I got some flack earlier this season when we signed him, where I said, why is everyone getting so excited about him? He's been on 5 teams in his career. Where's my numbers? He's been on 5 teams in his career. He's only averaged approximately 2 assists a game, 2 rebounds a game. He shoots 64% from the foul line in his career. 35% from 3. And I just said, he's a mediocre player. He's played on good teams and stuff like that. But if he was so great, he wouldn't have been on 5 teams. And in his career, they would have held on to him. And so tonight, I said, again, first half, 7 points, 1 rebound, no assists, 2 turnovers, He finished the game with 13 points, 5 for 12 shooting, 3 for 9 from 3. Didn't get to the foul line. What is with this team? Nobody gets to the foul line on this team. 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, no blocks, 3 turnovers, 5 personal fouls, 38 minutes, a minus 21. And he had a lot of lazy passes tonight. Chuck, take it on Austin.
Okay, but real quick, somebody said RJ is a good finisher. That's one of his strengths.
Who said that?
J Deals Direct.
Oh man, J Deals Direct usually has really good takes. I don't agree on that one, my brother. Hey, Quiet Money, salute to you, man. J Deals,
Okay.
What's up with that?
Oh man, yeah. All right. Rivers. Oh man, first start, right? 37 minutes, 1 assist. Whew, talking about Payton assists. I mean, Rivers had the ball more than Payton, and played 7 more. Yeah, and Payton only played 30, so 8 more minutes than him.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. That 1 assist, off shooting night, and he's one of 2 players that didn't get to the line. And that's kind of surprising because he attacks.
Yeah, Knox was the other one that didn't get to the line. Meaning the top, the ones that we were depending on tonight. We don't count. We don't count Noel.
Yeah. So for 12 shots and not drawing no, I ain't gonna say he didn't draw fouls, but he didn't get foul shooting, so he didn't get no shooting fouls. But average game. I don't got nothing on Rivers.
Ralph, thoughts on Austin Rivers tonight?
I mean, he didn't have a great game. I'm gonna keep it short. I wasn't too impressed by him, and yeah, just another tough loss. Next,
Okay. Guillermo.
I mean, yeah, he had a bad game, not great game. Again, he is what he is. He's an off-ball player. People thinking, oh, he's coming in, you can play point. That's not really his role. He is an off-ball shooter. Again, he's gonna have bad shooting nights, just like he gave you 5 for 7. You know what I mean? He's gonna have nights where he gives you, what do you have tonight? He had freaking, or his average. He had my bad. He had 5 for 12 from the field, 3 for 9.
Yep.
13 points. I mean, a lot of those guys missed a lot of shots. So again, with Rivers.
Yeah, but you got to admit they didn't just miss shot; they missed it open, uncontested shots tonight.
Right. Again, Rivers is a streaky guy. He's a guy who could give you 38 in a big game, and then give you 13 in a game where you think he'd eat with open looks. So it is what it is. Again, role players they can give it and they take it, and I think that with it's just interesting to see how they develop Rivers, or I don't want to say develop, but refine his game, I guess, because. Rivers is one of those guys, and salute to Sim. Sim made this, brought this point that Rivers is one of these guys that he's one of these unknowns. Not to say this guy's ever going to be great or anything, but one of these guys who's never truly,
been a higher option on a team.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's a star. I'm not saying that
I got you. I read you. Yeah, I read you.
Right, higher usage guys, and so Thibodeau's going to see what he has in him. It's just unfortunate because we really don't have a remote point guard. Or a truly go-to high-level facilitator, and also we don't in the zones, right? It's weird. Until the second half, I didn't see a lot of the triangle, or a lot of zone breakage with a big man whether it was Mitch or Randle. In the first half, I saw a lot of us on the outside. So if you just have everybody on the outside, no one on the inside, it's a cakewalk for any defense, especially if you don't have shooters. So it's
I was about to say, especially when a team like shooters, hey, you help me out. Thank you for doing this.
So, and again, Rivers did have some open shots he missed, but I'm just confused as to why Tibbs does that. And then, you're going to have some bad games where, and again, Rivers had that ridiculous game where he was hitting threes in people's faces. So, again, Rivers is another guy, give it, then he take it. I just chalk this up to, just a crappy game. We'll see. I still think he's a decent pickup, but crappy game. Or not great game. Let me not say crappy.
Yeah. Hey, just quick shout out to Quiet Money. You guys laughed at me when I said start Knox and bench RJ. How's it looking now? I wouldn't bench RJ even with these because I think Guillermo and a couple of guys touched on it. We're dealing with a young kid. You don't want to mess with that confidence. If anything, you just, statistically, he's gonna have a game pretty soon where it comes together, and hopefully you can build on it. So if he thinks the coaching staff and his brothers on the team are backing him, the last thing he wants everybody's abandoning him when thinking. So, but I appreciate your take on it. Kevin, your thoughts tonight on hey Alawise, how are you? Your thoughts on Rivers tonight?
So today I was driving home when I got the news that Reggie Bullock had a sore hip, and when I tell you,
did you have to pull off the road for
because you were
like bursting with excitement?
That literally evil sinister laugh. I was like, this is it.
Dr. Evil.
I was like, this is it. I was ecstatic. I was like,
I thought Knox for sure was going to start.
I felt like there's a meme of Lord, I can't think of his name. Chancellor Palpatine. He was like, this is the time. He had an evil laugh. That's how I felt. I felt like Chancellor Palpatine. And later on in the day, because I was like, it's going to be Knox. It's going to be Knox. It's going to be Knox. Later in the day, they was like, Austin Rivers is starting. And I was like, I was like, damn. I was really upset. I was beyond upset. But I was like, Austin's a veteran. He's okay. That Charlotte is small, so okay, I still understand. And then Austin Rivers got outplayed too and was kind of ineffective. And I was like, well, this isn't what I expected this to go. He didn't. I wouldn't say Austin Rivers had a bad game. He had a Austin Rivers type of game.
Yo, 38 minutes and 1 assist is kind of hurting.
I mean, like I said,
but also if you look at the thing, a lot of guys miss shots for his kickouts tonight, a whole lot.
But to me, he's probably played like Austin Rivers played when he was in Houston or the Clippers. That's probably a typical Austin Rivers stat line. I'm not saying it is. I don't know, but there's a reason that he's in the situation he's in. So I'm not going to sit here and say that he played bad. It's Austin Rivers.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting Austin Rivers to be his thing. I don't expect Austin Rivers to have 14 straight points every single game. So, there's that.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to kick it to you, Ralph, in a second. We're going to start with Randle. Just a couple of shout-outs. Ronald Miller, hope all is well. Hey, forgive me. There were so many shows on tonight. I saw you on one of the shows, and as always, enjoyed your takes. Linesters, how are you? Quattro Cinco, as always. Emmanuel Quickley, PBD. Real King. Let's see, Nameland, again, Quiet Money. My guy Alawise again. Glenn Greenstein, whole as well. And so, Ralph, first half with Randle, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls. He finished the game with 11 points, 2 for 9 shooting, 0 for 2 from 3, 7 for 8 from the line, which is nice to see. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, no steals, 1 block, 4 turnovers, 2 personal fouls. In 30 minutes, he was a negative 20. So what was your takeaway tonight on Julius?
I just saw that the first half they were getting cooked, and Gordon Hill was cooking the whole team early. It's hard for me to blame Randle. I mean, he's been playing a lot of minutes. He's passing the ball to everybody. So I don't know. I don't really have much to say about Randle. I mean, I don't think he had the best game, but I think he did okay. It's just I think I'm just it's the team right now that's really getting to me. And right now, we need players healthy too. So that's the thing that's really like on my mind. Like, so I don't want to make my conversation 5 minutes long. But at the end of the day, Julius Randle, I think he did okay, and it was a back-to-back, and he did the best he could, and I believe he did the best he could.
Cool. Chuck, I'm gonna kick it to you just real quick, brother. Big KL Contreras, as always. I hope all is well. 0.5. Again, morning, noon, and night. These guys support us, and it's greatly appreciated. Chuck, what'd you think about Randle tonight?
Randle was terrible tonight. Sloppy with the ball. He was supposed to be our mismatch tonight versus a smaller lineup. And to finish the game with 11 points and go 2 for 9 was upsetting. He was the one mismatch we had because we knew we was losing the backcourt battle, and you don't expect Mitch to dominate. So Randle was supposed to be the guy. So let down.
He looked like it was miscommunication. He had 2, and he didn't seem. At least I didn't notice him doing this in earlier games, but he had 2 kickouts tonight that went, were turnovers that he threw him away. So one was with Knox, and the other I think was with an RJ. But but just a lot of errant passes, which was surprising because he's been playing within himself. So, but again, I'm looking over here. Pass to Payton, missed 3-pointer. Pass to RJ, misses reverse layup. Pass to RJ, misses reverse layup again. Throws ball away on kick out to RJ. Bricks jump shot from foul line. Another errant pass. Let's see. He did a lot of double clutch jumpers tonight. He was making the shots even more difficult. Shot blocked in paint. Misses 3-pointer. So, Kevin, your thoughts on Randle tonight?
This has been in the works for a while with Julius. You can see he's starting to slow down.
Yep.
And it was just inevitable he was going to have this kind of game, especially on the second leg of a back-to-back. Like, you just knew that this was going to happen. He's never played this type of he's never had this type of workload on top of that either. And you can see by his numbers, what was that? Not the last game, but the game before last, where he didn't even score to like third quarter.
Yeah, exactly. I think he scored 18 after that, but yeah.
Yeah, but if you look back at that game, he took everything he had to get that 18. He does not. If Randle, I really fear like something, and I don't want this to happen to Julius, but he does not need to play these heavy. He shouldn't have played 30 minutes tonight.
That was one of the things I opened with. Tibbs, what are you doing? These guys are dragging. If you're getting blown out, put in Iggy. I don't care who you put in. But like I said, Knox only played 29 tonight. He could have played another 8 more minutes tonight.
The sad thing about this, and I don't know if it's just the environment with the Zoom and everything, but this New York media has to do better because they're the ones. And I know people's old Tibbs that somebody has like Tibbs because the players aren't gonna go to Tibbs. They're not, and so it's up to Berman and Begley and all of these people to be like, listen, they got the drill Tibbs on the minutes that these players are playing. I don't know if Kenny Payne is saying anything. I don't know if Johnny Bryan is saying anything. And I know he said the other night, he's like, oh, well, it's about how they practice, and we kind of hold back on their practices as players that are playing big minutes. But clearly that's not helping either. And we're only 11 games into the season.
That was what I was going to say. My God, we have a whole long way to go.
So, I know that, yes, we're playing shorthanded. And I know that. But here's the thing. I don't know who keeps saying wait till Obi and Alec Burks get back. it doesn't seem that they're going to be back anytime soon.
Yeah, no, several weeks.
So I don't know if Julius Randle. Don't expect Julius Randle to be back to how he was the first 4 or 5 games of the season anytime soon, especially efficiently. With that being said, if Tibbs doesn't change this offense, we're not going to score. This is the third straight game we scored under 90 points against teams that aren't good defensive teams. No one can say that the last 3 teams we played are any good defensively. Actually, they ranked in the bottom half in defense. So it's not anything that they're doing. And people can say, oh, they're running zone against us. These are professional basketball players with a pretty good coaching staff. I'm pretty sure they know how to generate points out of the zone. This isn't college. They're not playing, this isn't Syracuse playing like Providence or anything. This team cannot score if they are fatigued. Tom Thibodeau has to people, and I know Guillermo said earlier, Tom Thibodeau doesn't play at pace. He has to do something different. Something has to change because
there's one good thing if he doesn't change. We have a much better shot at Jalen Suggs, Jalen Green, and Jonathan Kuminga.
Well, I mean, at what as I can't think of her name right now. Gamora said to Thanos, at what cost?
That was deep. That's a mic drop comment. Hey, but we may have a solution. Robert Parr says, I'm telling you, we need braided Randle back fast. So maybe it's all in the hair like Samson. So Guillermo, your thoughts on Randle tonight?
The defenses know where our bread and butter lies, right? I mean, you set the traps on Randle. Force him to pass out the double teams.
Hey Guillermo, real quick, you were chatting with a Sim the other night, and I thought said something deep about they're going to be putting longer people on Randle on the defense. They're going to be switching up. Sim said they're going to be switching up. You'll see different defenses put on Randle to stymie his early season, numbers.
I mean, I don't remember that exactly. It was said, but I mean, essentially, all you have to really do is just send another guy. Find a way to stop. If he does get, because Randle does need to take time to sometimes post up. He likes to get in proper position. Just send a guy early at him, or send it to him right when he's about to pick up his dribble and force him to pass out the double team. He had a play today where he left his feet, and because Knox didn't slide over in a cerebral manner to get the pass, it was out of bounds. So you can blame on both the guys, whatever, but Knox is fairly young. Randle still left his feet, bad choice. But essentially, you just throw the double team at him in the zone. Again, until Randle plays, really plays like a Jokic and gets in that zone. Gets in the foul line, that zone. That low post, right? That low post area is going to struggle. That low post area is going to struggle, and it's because it's in the zone. Like teams, they have the, you wait for him to leave his feet. They have the book on him, and it's not necessarily Randle's fault. It's also on Tibbs. Like Tibbs does not play the guy. I mean, we ran triangle a few times tonight, and it's like, why don't we granted, we don't have the shooters right now. I mean, at the time we had Burks and Bullets was making shots, but it's like we don't really, at least that opens up a little bit where even Randle, if he catches that pass, he can shoot the foul shot. He has that little ugly jumper from there. I'm just kind of perplexed as to why Tibbs is doing it. Again, Randle's playing the second most minutes in the NBA behind RJ Barrett. So he's gassed right now. And I just don't understand why Tibbs not making it easier for him. Putting the post, maybe that tires him out a little bit. Have him get in that foul line and facilitate and push the ball and maybe crash to the basket alongside, Mitchell already be down there. So, I don't know. Randle, it was expected that Randle had this ugly game. I did like when Bismack Biyombo, when he did that thing, even though I'm not a fan of, when I was talking about this with Marcus Morris, when him and Elfrid Payton hit Jay Crowder. I don't like when you hit somebody like that in the air, like a cheap shot.
Yeah, you mentioned it, yeah.
That was a little dirty with you. Hey, push him back, you know what I mean? So, Yeah, I kind of appreciated that, even though it didn't really amount to much. But teams getting frustrated. We're not getting foul calls. You shouldn't expect that from any of these refs. It is what it is. He's expected to run into one of these games where basically the teams they have the book on the Knicks, and until we have better shooters or better production elsewhere, it's going to continue.
Yeah. Hey, Ronald Miller, we'll be talking about Mitch in a second, and I'll be kicking it to you, Ralph. Ronald Miller said, we need a hoodie Melo back too, and lots of laughs. And, I was dead against Melo coming back here. Pardon me. And I wasn't expecting Obi to get injured either, but I'm telling you, Melo shooting and a few other things, maybe he would have been a good addition for us as a vet, because God, we could use shooting in the worst way, and he could give Randle some breathing room, So, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. So, Ralph, let me just go real quick to the chat. Let me just get a quick update. We have 80 people in the chat at the moment. Delano Steele, special shout out to you. We have 61 likes. As always, help us get up past that 100 number tonight. I know more people will be coming in as the night goes on. So if you haven't hit the like, subscribe, and remind the bells yet, please hit them. And don't miss out on any Knicks at Night, Knicks Morning Drive broadcasts. Share the link on your favorite social media platforms so we can grow the Blarens Tears family. And thanks again for helping us get over the 1,230 subscriber milestone. 1,500, here we come. We greatly appreciate it. Shout out to the best mods on the planet, Sima Singh, Bodega Wi-Fi, the new Knicks. We appreciate all you do. So Mitch tonight, first half, 4 points, 4 rebounds, no assists, no steals, no blocks, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul. He finished the game with 12 points. 5 for 5 shooting. Obviously, he didn't shoot anything for 3. Although, God, he was open a couple of times, man. I was like, shoot it, shoot it. Hey, can't be worse than some of the other guys on the team when they air balls. So, 2 for 4 from the line, 11 rebounds. So he had a double-double, no assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 1 turnover. Again, 1 personal foul for the whole game. So, it's a new him. I have never seen him go this long in terms of minutes. He played 33 minutes tonight, but in the last several games to only have 1 personal foul in that amount of time. He was a negative 27 though. So, Ralph, your thoughts?
I think you hit it right there. I like that he's playing a lot of minutes, and I think he looks okay. He doesn't look gassed, and he's not getting too many fouls. And yeah, he had that one highlight where I have to see it again. I have to watch the highlight, but that's about it. I like that he's playing a lot of minutes, and that's about it.
Yeah, I'm going to go to you, Chuck. But Free Keith was on Knicks Morning Drive this morning with our Freezy, and he's old school like me, where he said, you know what, he should be using. One thing is not fouling out, but another thing, you have 6 fouls. Use a couple of those fouls for hard fouls, and I was like, Free Keith, I like the way you think. It's hard to grow up with an Oakley and stuff like that, and have a guy who plays ball like that. That I'm going to foul you. You're going to know I fouled you. So everything is so nice today. Everything is so pleasant. So, Chuck, your thoughts on Mitch tonight?
Yeah, well, I didn't expect him to get in any foul trouble versus the team whose center is 6'9", and yeah, no post threat. So there was nobody to foul. If they had somebody to foul, he would have did it. But shooting, usually when you go 5 for 5, a person go 5 for 5, you look to feed that person, because that would be like the hot hand, but not with Mitch. You know what I'm saying? Because all his points is the same way. Dunks and lobs.
There's a beautiful inbound lob from Knox tonight for a jam.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, he did his job on the boards. Had a double-double. Can't hate on it. I'm done.
Mr. Wright, your thoughts on Mitch tonight?
I just wish you could give the ball to Mitch and have him do something.
That's what I say.
I
If
mean,
you got a kid shooting 18%, then why can't you say, "Hey, Mitch," meaning I'm Tibbs, I have no problem you taking a couple shots tonight. Put up a couple shots. I don't care if it's a hook shot. I don't care if it's a jump shot in the paint. But I want you to start feeling comfortable. You can't hit them if you don't shoot them. So take a couple of shots. I'll leave it up to you.
I'll say this much. I don't want to see not a video this offseason of Mitch and the YMCA with them videos of him playing pickup basketball. I don't want to see not one of them.
I agree, man.
I
don't want to see those 7-foot handles or those 3-point shots.
If you are looking like a deer in headlights when you got 15 feet of space in the actual game, I don't want to see you playing pickup basketball with your friends.
Thank you.
Mitch just, even if he missed, if he just took a shot, that would just add a whole different dimension to the offense.
Yeah.
But because
if Noel can shoot, he can shoot. Come on.
just it's like teams know he's not, so they can cheat off of him. And that one aspect changes how a defense plays against our entire team whenever Mitchell Robinson is on the court. Because we're playing 4-on-5. And it's nice. Oh, he got double-double and all the other stuff. I saw Dale Davis take jump shots. Dale Davis.
Pacers.
And if Dale Davis could take a 10-foot jump shot, I'm sure Mitchell Robinson can too.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's all I got to say about Mitch.
Yeah, Paris Duggar said Tibbs got to encourage him to shoot. I totally agree. I hope all is well, Parrish. Yep. What's your thoughts, Guillermo, on Mitch tonight?
I don't know. I don't really have any high-level thoughts on him. 12 points.
11 rebounds.
Yeah, two blocks, 2 steals.
Got away with a goaltending.
He did. On that one block, he did. In my head, I was thinking of when Sim said, "Yo, block the ball." If it goes, I was like, Sim might have a point. But, yeah, again, 33 minutes, 1 personal foul. One thing is, like, it's kind of tough to sometimes judge him because literally sometimes when he's fighting for rebounds, it's only him versus, like, 3 guys, right? One thing he does have butterfingers at times, which gets me kind of pissed.
He does.
I don't know if it's going to come with strength with age, where he kind of gets a little bit more better hand-eye coordination, or I guess strength in his hands to be able to just like palm the ball and get the ball and gather it. Again, obviously he didn't go for a shot. It's tough. I think. Look, am I seeing some improvements in his game? Again, he's out there for 33 minutes. Only 1 personal foul. But then there were times where I think it was PJ. I always get PJ Washington and Miles Bridges confused when I look at them straight on. But there are a few times where, again, in the pick and pop, the first pick and pop was actually Randle's. That was the first one, the first play of the game. Randle messed that up. But there are a few of them where Mitch just does not get out there quick enough. And I think that I don't want to say it's IQ. I think that he's sometimes a victim of Tibbs' play call with that whole ice pick and roll defense. He's just going to get abused too many times. You see it now where there's a lot of pick and pop.
He didn't get on.
Yeah, it's like okay. If you look at these players, I'm not trying to make excuse for Mitch, but it's like it's tough to get. You know what I mean? When you get a point where drives deep into the paint or deeper into the paint, and Mitch is trying to hold the guy, and Elfrid or RJ don't get there quick enough, or Rivers, who it may be, then it's like okay. When they finally pass out to the 3-point guy, he has acres of land and time to shoot. So I can't really kill Mitch Robinson on that, but. Coach Coloblock said that in those plays that the center is responsible for the communication with the point guard. And I'm like, I'm not sure if you want Mitch Robinson at the command station, yelling out, switch or stay or kind of guiding and making sure. I mean, it's just I don't know. Sometimes I think he's a victim of a circumstance in the pick and pop plays. It's tough, and I think he was in on that one play. There was actually a few plays where I think it was either Miles Bridges or PJ. I keep forgetting which one. There's some backdoor cuts. There's one where they just set the pick and roll. Actually, no, that was on RJ.
I was about to say my notes said it was RJ, and didn't he call immediate timeout after that?
Well, there was a one where RJ. It was RJ and Randle. I tell you that it wasn't Mitch. Mitch was not involved with plays. RJ and Randle. Randle stood in his place, but he was with the right assignment, and I think it was PJ Washington or freaking out, whichever one. They rolled, and RJ kept going with the ball handler instead of rolling down. So I take that back. I apologize for that. But with Mitch, man, I see some improvements here and there. I think he's a victim of circumstance sometimes, but 33 minutes, one personal foul. You take it at a time. I think his defense was a little bit better versus Jokic. Obviously, Jokic is an absolute beast. He abuses almost anybody who's on him. So yeah, kind of like a
Beautiful footwork on that guy, man.
He's amazing. He's the best center in the league to me. But
is it fair to say that he's not as aggressive as he was before? Because we used to see Mitch block a lot of 3-pointers. You don't see that no more. Or contest the 3-point shot.
No doubt.
But I think hold on. But you complain about that, Chuck. You said that.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm asking you.
No. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't come at you. Like I meant to say like. Because when you used to talk about him being a shot blocker, I would say, and you made a good point. I said I'd rather him be a guy who can defend and make guys take bad shots versus him just being a shot blocker. I think that it's tough. I think that you're seeing some maturation where he still jumps a little bit, but he's keeping his feet a lot better than last year. And you're not going to get as many blocks. It's just not going to be as sexy, right? But if he learns how to keep his feet and then jump at the right time, right? He had a few this year. I marked it down a few games ago where he jumped perfectly. It was at like the right time. You saw the guy give up. Damn, I can't remember who it was. It was a white dude actually. It may have been Kevin Hurt. I might be wrong, but damn, I go and tip my tongue. But you like to see that from Mitch. So I'll take him having less blocks, even though what he had tonight, 2 blocks.
Yeah.
I'd rather him do that, like have less 4, 5, 6 block games. And have a better defensive field goal percentage to field goal percentage margin versus him having all these blocks and he can't stay on the court for more than 25 minutes. So,
his steals are up too. He's especially if a couple of lobs that he's been stealing in the last few games, he's anticipating it. So
I've been just seeing guys just shoot over him, and he's just like he's daring them to shoot, like with Horford. A few times he wouldn't balance the shot. He was just daring them to shoot. And I think Bridges did it tonight too.
He did it tonight too, but I don't know if it's true or not. Do you think that he stopped playing as aggressively on the perimeter after that injury with Team USA? Because remember, he got hurt. Remember Kyle Kuzma on that play with Kyle Kuzma. And I don't know. I just felt like since then he has not been as like stout with perimeter because rookie year, he would squat up with like dudes on the perimeter and like play them like a guard. And you're like, oh, what the hell is this? And I don't know. I feel like ever since then he kind of stopped doing it.
Yeah, Chuck, you provoke thought. I've never seen him. Maybe Guillermo, but is there any stats that on fouling people shooting 3-pointers? Because I didn't know whether or not the coaching staff may have said to him, hey, we saw some of that leaping ability for you deflecting in your rookie season and stuff, 3-pointers and stuff. But you also picked up X amount of fouls on those guys shooting threes, and we can't have that.
I'll definitely try to check that up now.
So. Yeah, that's something Knox do.
Oh, yeah, Knox.
Oh, well, you see? Hey, Kevin Wright, you see what's happening, man?
Hey, Sima Singh said we are the easiest team to defend. Sima, I wish you'd come on the video chat. You're always bringing up really good points, and yes, we make it very easy for our competition to defend us. As Guillermo said, all we have to do is stand out by the perimeter, and they could have a cigarette because they know they're not worried about us hitting baskets from out there.
No, we just Tridash.
We'll get to it in a minute, I'm sure.
Well, I was going to kick it to you, Kev. Let's talk about Mr. Knox. In the first half, he had 17 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, no steals, 1 block, 2 personal fouls, but he was 1 for 7 and 0 for 4 in the second half, which equated to he finished the game with 19 points, 7 for 17 shooting, 5 for 12 from 3. Didn't get to the foul line tonight. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 0 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, 29 minutes. He was a -4 on the night. So take it, Kev. On Kev.
Well, what I was going to say before this is I want people in the chat to know that I have nothing but love for Guillermo. I'm a huge fan of his. That's my boy. Nothing but love.
Where's this coming from, man? It's all argument. It's stupid arguments, man. I got love for Kevin, man. There's no withdrawal at all, man. Not at all.
Now his real nemesis is probably Josh.
No. We killed Josh. We killed Josh a few weeks or last week, whatever. He doesn't exist. Every quote that he's saying, I'm saying, I did not say. He's just twisting words. He needs attention. But continue, Kevin. I'm sorry.
He said something in the chat a little bit, which made absolutely no sense whatsoever. He says Knox in the starting lineup doesn't do anything because all they do is space the floor.
Who, me?
That's what Josh said. And I'm like,
again, if you want to get to the source of what Josh is accusing somebody saying, go to the actual person who said it.
That's what Josh said. Josh doesn't want to see Knox in the starting lineup because all Knox does is space the floor.
The argument was talking about when we were talking about that was playmaking, right? And what I was saying with Bullock and Knox was that they have the same playing style, right? You need another playmaker on the floor because I do not trust Elfrid Payton, and they're going to defend Julius Randle to where they're going to try to make him ineffective. He's the only true playmaker on the floor. My point, and this was weeks ago when RJ Barrett had more assists than Elfrid Payton. He was saying, "Oh, put Knox in." One of his suggestions was to put Knox in for RJ Barrett. And I was saying, okay, you put him in. Now you have Bullock and Knox who do the same thing. They play the same style, and they can't play make. Who's getting the ball out to them? Randle by himself? Like Elfrid Payton ignores Knox. We talked about this for days. I think his percentage of passes, I don't know about tonight.
I was about to say tonight was an anomaly in my notes. Wasn't passing to him tonight.
When he passed that corner shot, I was Randle even on the court then because he looked lost. Like, oh no, my buddy's not here.
Right.
I got to do something with it because I'm stuck.
But hold up, Kevin. I don't even know. We were talking about the starting lineup. I don't know what that lineup. I'm pretty sure, obviously, it wasn't starting lineup. They mix and match after that. But what I was trying to say is that in that line, and again, we're talking about this after Knox has had this approach of game, right? And yes, Knox has been shooting 40.7% from three. But you literally have Bullock and Knox. Two guys do the same thing, and at the time, well, let me say for Knox, but Bullock has not been shooting well whatsoever. Outside of that and playing decent pick and roll defense, Bullock really doesn't do anything. Assist, rebounds, is that better than RJ? So that was the whole point. But what Josh does is that because he needs attention, he brings up he cuts what you say and then puts it out there and says, "Oh, you said this," and it's like
Josh said he was just basically reiterating what somebody else said. It wasn't.
He's saying me because he doesn't want to mention by name. Okay. He also mentions a video I have on RJ Barrett shooting for him, and he's making it seem as if I said RJ Barrett that RJ Barrett will shoot well this season. All I did was take the first few preseason games that was available at the time and say he changed his form. Mind you, in the video itself, all the form changes I put there with the 3-point shot, he missed them all. So he's trying to make it seem as if I'm saying that RJ Barrett. So when Josh talks, go to the person he's talking about. Trust me, you'll find the truth there. He doesn't speak the truth whatsoever. Is that clear enough for everybody?
Well, you probably know better than I do.
I killed Josh. Why are we bringing this guy up? I hold up. I killed him. I know. I'm saying I killed him in a 3-round match. All 3 rounds. About the same guys complaining about RJ Barrett. You hate so much. He couldn't prove his own point with RJ Barrett. Said RJ Barrett during the debate takes all the shots, a lot of his shots from the paint and from the post up. Then when I told him a few days, I was like, well, he doesn't. Statistically, he does. He's like, so Josh, don't. Josh is Mitzelplick from Superman. If you say his name 3 times backwards, he disappears. Just ignore him. Ignore him or say his name 3 times backwards, and he'll go away. He's a freaking troll. Go ahead.
Hey, one second before, just remember what you're saying. I just wanted to kick it. Hey, Freezy, are you there, my friend? Okay, sometimes he brings people in. I don't know if he's there, but out of courtesy, I always love to hear.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, Freezy. I always love to hear your takes. Anything you want to, Kevin is still going on Knox. You want him to finish, and then we'll kick it to you?
Well,
or?
I haven't even begun yet.
No,
I know.
No, let my man rock and roll. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to be respectful to you. Just real quick, Quiet Money, thank you for the super chat. He said, got to bite the bullet and bring RJ off the bench. Like I said, I don't know about that one, Quiet Money. We're dealing with a delicate situation. We have a kid here, so it's
but let's discuss it. Let's talk about bringing RJ off the bench.
all right, and then we'll go back to I'm cool. Hey, that's what this night's
Okay,
about.
let's bring up the guys he'll be playing with off the bench, and let's talk about how his game will improve him coming off the bench.
You know, you have this too because we're from the same. We think the same way, but this is the weird part. If you look at the lineups for RJ, let me go to lineups. The lineups that he does best with the amount of minutes so far is Barrett, Knox, Quickley, Randle, and Rivers, and that's per 100 possessions. It's a plus 28.6, and his worst, and again, this is around 15 minutes so far this season and that's a minus 38 per 100 possessions is Barrett, Knox, Noel, Quickley, and Rivers. So, he's played the most, and it's basically a up 1 point with Barrett, Bullock, Payton, Randle, and Robinson, and they're only up 1 point versus on 100 possessions. So it's weird when you look at some of the team or the lineups where he doesn't really jive. He doesn't really jive with Knox, Payton, Randle, and Robinson also. So that's a minus 15.7 in lineup per 100 possessions. So, Kevin, please take it on Knox then. We'll let you flow.
Was it last night? It was last night. I got into a debate with my man Ralph here about him not trusting, Kevin Knox, and Knox hadn't done anything to deserve it. And even with Guillermo, Lord, I had a whole brain fart just now. About how he wishes the other night against OKC that was a game that he wished that Kevin Knox would take advantage of his mismatch and blow up, and that the coaches would see him different. I want to put that theory to a test. I want to see, because I said that it wouldn't make a difference. Kevin Knox could play great, and it would make a difference. And we saw it in the game.
You're right. We saw him blow it up in the first half, and it didn't make a difference to get him in there in the second half.
Kevin Knox was the best player on the court, and Tom Thibodeau still took him out for no apparent reason. It killed the entire momentum the team was going on. You can literally say that. Tom Thibodeau taking out Kevin Knox when he did in the second quarter killed the momentum, because weren't we up by like 1 point or something at that point in time, or down by one, or it was like close. When he pulled Kevin Knox out, and then we were never close after that again. I think he put Kevin Knox in, and then he hit the three at the end. He has a knack for hitting like in the quarter shots. I'll give Kevin Knox that. To bring us within 7 at halftime.
57-50 exactly.
But had he not, I would like to say, I don't think the game might have been closer. It might have swung different had he just not taking Kevin Knox out the game. I've said this so many times before. This starting unit, even with Austin Rivers in there, and I don't know if it's Elfrid Payton. I don't know if it's what. The starting unit continuously digs holes that the team has to climb out of, and they exert so much energy in getting back from the deficits that the starting unit puts us in that you get tired out in the second half. Kevin Knox, and I know you just said that the plus negative is pretty bad with him, Randle, RJ, Payton, and Mitch on the court. But to be honest with you, that's probably the best unit to start off a game. Because Rivers, I think, is at his best off the bench, bringing in a different tempo, different style. Him in the starting, because there's no, like tonight, there was no change of pace because Quickley isn't ready to be a change of pace type of guard in this league. He's just not ready yet for that kind of role like Austin Rivers can do, like Alec Burks can be. Kevin Knox would fit better in between RJ and Julius because, and I know last night Ralph vehemently disagreed with me, Kevin Knox does better what you want Reggie Bullock to do. He's just better than Reggie Bullock. And I've said this so many times. Kevin Knox, if Kevin Knox got a minimum of 10 shots a game, Kevin Knox would easily score double digits. Easily. Because Kevin Knox can shoot. And I know people like, Chuck is going to vehemently disagree. Chuck is he is on record of saying Knox is only going to get you 6, between 6 and 15. He's only going to get you 6 and 15.
Or
that's it. Yeah, 6 or 15. That's it. Nothing else. He's going to get you 6 or 15. But if Kevin Knox averaged 15 points a game, I think we'd all be okay with that.
No, he ain't going to average it. He won't average 15.
He could. I think Kevin Knox could easily average 15 or more.
Not in the NBA.
Staff.
Huh?
Not in the NBA.
Definitely in the National Basketball Association. Kevin Knox has. Here's the thing. We all want Kevin Knox to be stronger going to the hole. We all want him to be more aggressive attacking. We all want him to be more aggressive rebounding. And that's something, I guess, as his body develops more and he gets stronger, could happen. But already Kevin Knox is a very good shooter. And if he could build on top of that, because here's the thing, when Kevin Knox does drop, when Kevin Knox does get like a full head of steam, he could be better. He does tend to flail sometimes. I'm not going to say he's avoiding contact, but he should probably go up stronger. He should probably make up his mind, I'm just going to posterize whoever. Because even if he doesn't get it, he'll get fouled and go to the free throw line. Well, he's a pretty good free throw shooter. Because I think if you put Kevin Knox in a starting lineup, teams know they have to respect his shot. And that'll just open up the court more for Julius and RJ. It's not an extra man that they have to go on. And if you do, then that leaves Knox wide open in the corner 3, where he's just pretty much just deadly now. So, I mean, he cooled off. I mean, that's you. No one is going to stay hot for a whole game like that. Not from 3 at least.
Hey, Kev. Here are my notes from tonight for Knox. Bricks uncontested 3-pointer after pass from Rivers, and then gets victimized by Hayward in transition. Hits corner 3 from kick out by Randle. Pass to Rivers, who drives for basket off glass. It's another 3-pointer from pass from Randle. Travel after getting ball by 3-point line and putting the ball on the floor. Misses in-out 3-pointer from pass from Rivers. Pass to Rivers from missed 3-pointer. Hits another 3-pointer after a pass from Payton. Timeout Charlotte. Layup for 2 on fast break from pass from Payton. Cuts lead to 137-36. Hits another corner 3 after pass from Payton. So that's why tonight was an anomaly. Payton was passing to him. Misses mid-range jumper off of dribble from pass from Payton misses corner three after a good kick out by RJ. Hits another corner three from a pass from Randle. Rebound on missed quick three. Kick out to Rivers for a three. No good. Misses corner three after pass from Rivers. Drives the basket. Gets shot swatted away by P.J. Washington. Alley-oop inbound pass to Mitch for slam. Pass to RJ, who drives for two. Bricks three-pointer after pass from Payton. Goes coast to coast and lays the ball in for two. First points of second half at 7:34 of the fourth quarter after having 17 in the first half. Misses layup in transition after Mitch block. He has to dunk the damn ball, I wrote. Don't try a layup. You dunk the damn ball. After then, he commits his third personal foul. Tibbs takes him out, 5:19 of the fourth quarter. Offensive foul, basket waved off. Bricks uncontested three-pointer from kick out by RJ. Gets rebound and passes to Quick. That's my notes for Kevin tonight.
You know what I thought about with Tibbs is his offense is so one-dimensional. But it's like, didn't he spend time? And I'm not saying our players are comparable to the players that Golden State has. But it's like, didn't he spend time in the Golden State organization? How? Because their offense is complex. Well, it's not complex. It's a lot of off-ball movement. The players on Golden State move without the ball a lot. And this team doesn't. It's very stagnant. It's very standstill. I would love to see Kevin Knox and I know Guillermo has said that he doesn't think that Knox can't, but I don't know if he can or not because we haven't seen him move off screens like how Charlotte deploys Gordon Hayward.
Whoa. When did I say he couldn't move us? I said, what I was saying in the chat is that in the zone, it's hard to do that. That's all I said. I didn't say he could. First of all, I actually, a few games, or maybe last week, I said that Kevin Knox was moving off ball, but they ignored him when I made my argument about why the team was ignoring him. So I did say that. I'm just saying that in a zone where they're going to be playing zone a lot, and if they have guys down low, it's going to be hard for him to do that. Just tell me in what sets, especially if you play 2-3, we're going to see a lot of off-ball movement where Kevin Knox is moving from wing to, you know what I mean? They're setting off-ball screens for Knox. It just doesn't happen.
What I'm saying is
Knox is actually, to tell you the truth, Knox's best attribute right now will just be he actually could be the key. Just spot shoot. That's it. Spot shoot like he did tonight. Shoot in the corner. I think that's his best. I don't know the numbers. I think it's his best place to shoot threes. Just shoot in the corner. Too many times you see guys calling over picks and stuff and bringing over extra men. No, keep his own breaker, play your triangle, hit Knox in the corner. That's Knox played Knox tonight, especially the first half. He was, and I think Chuck Chuck, because I don't think Rob was here. Chuck said it. He was our best player, most impactful player. And it's up to Knox to continue to have these type of games to open up the zone. So I just feel again in the zone, you're just limited with how you could use Knox. But maybe if you start playing more man and stuff like that, maybe he opens up. If Knox could, you can have Knox moving to play zone break and catch the ball at the foul line, shoot that foul shot, kick it out. But again, I have no problem with how Knox played for the most part tonight. Not at all.
And like I said, it's just like I said, he's perfect if he gets the shots to break the zone. Because if Kevin Knox is hitting shots,
that's how you break the zone.
Teams aren't going to continue to run zone.
Exactly.
Right. So you have to.
Wally said that tonight too.
Yeah.
Right. So he has to do that consistently. Because again, his teammates have to get him the ball consistently.
Man, is this a Knox at Night podcast?
Knox had a good game. You have to give him credit. Look, he did what he did, and he helped out on his own. It's just Knox has to do that because having one game, people are like, all right, but Knox does that on average. If he does that,
wait a minute. Y'all are saying Knox had a good game. I'm sorry. Hold on. So y'all are saying Knox had a good game tonight.
I'm not.
He had a good first half tonight.
That's what I think I've been hearing. That's what I've been hearing for like 2 hours. That Knox had a great game.
We literally haven't thought about Kevin Knox for 2 hours, so
it'll get there.
Hey man, so just for the record,
we haven't.
Just for the record, we watched Gordon Hayward have a career high 28 28 points in the first half against the Knicks, and he played small forward. I'm just saying.
He wasn't always on Knox though. He wasn't always on Knox. He used a lot of picks. I mean, he had fast breaks and stuff. He wasn't always on Knox, so that's kind of unfair to.
And he scored 6 points in the second half.
I'm not saying that Hayward was even. I'm not saying that Knox even covered Hayward. What I'm saying is there a bigger flaw? What I'm saying is a dude had 28 points in the first half against the Knicks, and we talking about Kevin Knox having 17. That's what I'm saying.
We're talking about Kevin Knox.
Yeah. But because of Knox, we were only down by 7.
So, okay, all right. So, all right.
Keep going, Freeze.
He's done. Kev, you done or you halfway?
I don't know if it's Freezy done.
Yeah, he done.
Okay.
Oh,
hey, Josh,
that's
just real quick, Josh, Uncle Stupido said, let's disregard the stats production that Stephen Fox puts out there because it's not about production. Yeah.
He's coming at me again. I don't know when tonight I said not production. Literally, I got into argument, or not argument. I was talking to Kevin Wright. I said, RJ Barrett does other things besides scoring, which I was talking about production with assists and rebounds again. So I'm saying you have to ignore Josh. He's not well in the head.
Yeah. All right.
But the only thing, like I said, Kevin Knox, other than last night, came into this game shooting 40% from three still.
Yeah, that's good.
So
3.3 attempts.
No, what I'm saying is all he has to it's not up to Kevin Knox to continue what he's doing. It's up to his teammates to give Kevin Knox the ball in the positions to shoot. Kevin Knox can shoot. He just hasn't had the attempts to do it. And that's why I said that's the difference. Because it's not up to Kevin Knox because he's going to do what he's going to shoot. It's just up to his teammates to give him the ball to shoot. And that's that's the only thing I've been saying is if he gets the ball to do it, he can do this. He just needs the attempts.
Hey, did you ever notice, Kev, with Knox, that there's something about hitting 20 points for that kid that he'll hit 16 or 17 in the first half, and he just can't get past that 20-point mark sometimes? He could drive you crazy.
Yeah, it's frustrating. You know,
don't give him more.
There. I'm not saying he won't, but he'll get there. He'll have plenty of 20-point games this season.
Yeah. Guillermo?
Yes, sir.
You want to – I don't know if you said everything you wanted to say about Knox tonight.
No, just first half, I thought he was – and this is a good first half for him. I hope Kevin Knox – now, one play I did have a problem was when he didn't move over when Randle had to pass, because I've seen Burks and Bullocks at least slide over, right? You want – again, you got to be – as a shooter, you got to be privy to that. I've also seen times where at least once where Quickley kind of called him to come out of the corner to get the pass. So hopefully Knox comes a little bit more cerebral, like he's in tune with the whole game, where it's not, I'm just waiting for my pass. It's kind of like I'm moving around. It's kind of like in football where like a play breaks down and the guy's scrambling. You change a route to kind of get open. So it's a small thing. I'm not getting on Knox. I'm not killing him. Had a good game. I want to see it against the Nets because I want teams to start to open up that zone or even get away from him and be like, look, we have to account for this kid. You know what I mean? Take away some attention from Randle. So again, Knox, good first half.
I don't think Kyrie's going to play, so that's good for us.
Yeah, what is he? Is this whatever his
personal reasons?
I have a question. Does Tibbs? Actually, it's a two-part question. Does Tibbs still go with the same lineup he went with tonight, or does he put in Knox against Brooklyn?
Well, I think he's such a regimented guy. I think he's going to go with the same lineup because if he didn't, meaning if he showed, he would have put Knox in a lot quicker in the second half.
Because and this has nothing to do. I guess.
Please, can we finish with Knox?
Yeah, we will in a second. I'm sorry.
I was trying to talk about Brooklyn.
No, you wasn't. You creating questions for Knox.
No, because
in case our God, we already talked about Rivers.
You go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Take a chuck on Knox.
Go ahead. Knox was trash.
No, I ain't gonna say that.
I'm surprised. That's usually how they start off with talking about him.
No. He made he made a lot of shots until they started defending him. That's when it stopped. Tonight was a tale of two halves. And what I mean by that is when I said Knox is either 6 or 15, the first half was closer to that 15, which he did 17. And the second half, he did 2. So he came up short of the 6. So he underachieved the second half. His defensive win share, he's 6th on the team in defensive win share, and he's 6th on the team in offensive win share. So starting, that's your case for starting. There's 5 guys on both sides of the ball that's ahead of him if you care about win share. That's only if you do. But we're gonna see this from Knox. We're gonna have games where he's hot when they're ignoring him, and also cold when they're ignoring him. But when there's defense on him, you're not gonna see no explosions like you saw tonight. I think I'm done. I think I'm done with Knox. Ralph, you still there? I don't need to see the.
I'm alive, man. I'm here.
All
Wait. I like the minutes that Knox is getting. I like him. I still like him coming off the bench. But I think he should get his more minutes. Days like today, he played 29 minutes. I think it's well deserved. And I think hopefully, who was it that said? Was it Wally Zerbiak or Alan Hahn said that he should be a starter? I think that's a good testament to how well he's playing. I think it's true. His percentages are good, and today he had a really good game with a lot of minutes on the floor. But he still has areas to improve. I think that's a fact. But I like the fact that he played 29 minutes and finished the game with 17 points. And I can get the other stats, but I'm not going to do that. But
19. Don't cheat on 42 points. In the second half.
Okay, thank you. So I like the stats he put up today. So hopefully this is a testament that next time he shouldn't play 17 minutes. He should play more than at least 25 minutes per game. 25, and depending how he plays. But that's all I got to say about Knox.
Hold on, one more thing real quick, Steve.
Yeah, take your time.
Kev says something ridiculous about you can't, like, only superstars stay hot the whole game. That don't make no sense. Anybody could get in the zone, which Knox was supposedly in the zone in the first half. It don't just go away. You know what I'm saying? So I totally agree with that. There's many cases where guys was hot the whole game, not just a half, and then freeze out the second half and only get 2 points.
See, here's yes,
But
he only got 2
Chuck,
points.
is that for a guy who's on the floor a lot, or is it a guy that comes off the bench, is hot, and then goes back to the bench, and then he cools off? Because some guy, so it's like a cooler sometimes that, he was hot, and then, he got out of rhythm. They put him on the bench. Sometimes a guy is starting, he's cold, but because he's still playing, he's able to get back into a rhythm. Is it easy? Is it harder for a guy sitting on the bench to come back and pick up that rhythm again?
Not if you're good. So Knox is below average player.
Have you ever played basketball?
Yes, I will destroy you one-on-one.
Oh God! What?
We'll post you up, Kevin.
Today.
Listen, when I graduated high school, I was second in New Hanover High School's all-time 3 points taken and made. Okay, just throwing those facts out there. You can Google it. With that being said, most shooters, unless you're just otherworldly, once you get into that flow, you don't want to do anything to mess it up, because once you do that, it's hard to get it back. And as of any shooter, now a scorer is different, because if you're scoring, there's different ways you can do it. But if you're a shooter and that's just what you are, you want to stay in that flow as long as possible. And because it's a true, if you've ever been a shooter, it's true, because that basket will look as big as the ocean, and you just feel like you can't miss anything. But then, like, you come down, you sit down, and then you try and find it again, and at first miss, it's like, oh, well, it's going there, and it's in the back of your head that it's gone. And then, but the thing is, you don't want to force it, because that's just going to be bad. And that's just coming from a shooter. And there's a difference between a shooter and a scorer.
Facts.
There's two different things.
Facts. I agree with everything you said, but the problem is Knox isn't a shooter.
The numbers this season would, I think he is.
Sample size. Take it away.
At least from three, he's a shooter, not nowhere else.
11 game sample size. Okay.
Yeah.
11 games, shooting 41% from 30.
So. All right. We're gonna.
I just want to check and see. This is what if Kevin Knox finished the season. If he finished the season and he's shooting above 40% from three, what would you say then? Because I'm gonna be right here at the end of the season. If Kevin Knox is shooting 40% or more from three, excuse me, what would you say then?
Flowers.
After 72 games.
Flowers.
What?
Flowers. I give him his flowers.
Okay. We got that on tape, right?
All right. So if he shoot under league average, what would you say?
What's league average?
It's probably 36 or 38.
36.
One of them. 36.
36.
Yeah.
If he shoots 36%, it's like, oh, well, I'll say I was wrong about Kevin Knox.
Okay.
But if he shoots 38% or better, I'm gonna need you to call your local florist.
You got a deal.
Okay.
League average this season or last season, but league average is 37% from three.
37. It's up a little. Okay.
So, quick shout out to the chat. IQJ.
Well, a bit anyway, so I'm not worried.
IQJ. Hope all is well. AK Sour God. The new Knicks, as always. Coach Cheese Carter's in the house. I can't do it like my boy Freeze. Trizzy Trey, Nameland, Sam Holt. Again, Ismail Rivas. Danny Landis, how are you? Hope all is well. Morning, noon, and night. C-Mac. Yep. It's almost that time, C-Mac. Hope all is well. Hey, just a favor to ask, please hit those likes, subscribe, and remind the bells so you don't miss out on any Knicks at Night and Knicks Morning Drive broadcasts. And please share the link on your favorite social media platforms so we can grow the Blanche Tears family. And thanks again for getting us over the 1,230 subscriber milestone. 1,500, here we come. We greatly appreciate it. And also a shout out to the best mods on the planet, Sima Singh, Bodega Wi-Fi, and the new Knicks. We appreciate all you do. So, gentlemen, let's turn, unless you have anything else to talk about, Mr. Knox, let's talk about Quickley. So I'm going to kick it to you, Chuck. Just high level, quick in the first half, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul. He finished the game with 3 points, 1 for 10 shooting, 0 for 6 from 3, pardon me, 1 for 1 from the line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, no steals, no blocks, 1 turnover. In 29 minutes, he was a -2. And please just give me a chance here. I'll just my notes on tonight on quick. Pass to Rivers, who makes a difficult shot off glass for 2. Drives for an and 1 from a pass from RJ. He hits the foul shots. Bricks 3-pointer from pass from Randle. Pass to Noel for reverse layup for 2. Pass to RJ for a brick 3. Driving that nice lob to Noel for a jam. Misses long on contested 3 from pass from RJ. I wrote needs better shot selection. Nice kick out to RJ, who shoots an air ball from 3. He misses a floater in the paint. A travel violation. That was the team's 9th turnover at that point of the night. Pass to Rivers, who bricks a 3-pointer. He bricks a 3-pointer himself after a pass from Rivers. Misses another 3-pointer from a pass from Rivers. Timeout Tibbs. Misses an in-and-out 3. RJ tips in the rebound. Bricks floater. And I wrote, what happened to this kid's touch? Mitch rebound, fouled. Terrible defense on Graham, allowing a 3-pointer as the third quarter comes to an end. Didn't get around the screen. Better get a better grasp on how much time is on the shot clock. He keeps passing to his teammates with 4 seconds or less. Misses an in-out 3 from pass from Rivers. Misses an in-out mid-range jumper after a pass from Knox. And that was my notes on Quick tonight. So, Chuck, I'll start with you. What'd you think about Quick?
Okay. That -2 is skewed because he was on the floor with Knox.
Good point.
Right?
Good point.
If he wasn't on the floor with Knox, that -2 would have been minus
21.
Yeah, up there with the rest of the guys. Oh, boy, was he bad. Oh,
what happened to this kid's touch? I know with the hip injury and you get a little rusty, but rusty means in and out. It doesn't mean bricks, man.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I noticed, I said this earlier about his shot is he don't, like most of his shots is never straight up when he jump. He shoots leaning forward.
Yeah, and he shoots from here instead of yeah.
And yes, and he shoot like the ball is too heavy for him. So for him to be to have that title or labeled sharp shooter or whatever they call him.
Practice is a different game than the real game.
Yeah. So most of those must have came off when he was going straight up. And an example of his the difference is at the foul line, right? It's no movement, so you get his pure shot. But in the flow of the game, he's falling forward.
Doesn't he look like he hears steps? You know, like
it looks like somebody's pushing him when he shoot.
Yeah,
it looks like he jump in the air
and he's
like
off balance.
Like
he's falling. Yeah,
like an invisible person is pushing him when he shoots. It's not his fault that the Knicks didn't take a point guard at 8 instead of Obi, but fans put the hopes in Quickley, expecting him to be that point guard and saying we didn't miss out on one because we got Quickley. And I think that's going to be a mistake. The thinking that there's going to be a mistake because he's not a point guard. And tonight was just terrible. Defense, he's too small. He get pushed around. He don't beat his man off the dribble.
They take him to the hole with ease.
Yeah, they take him. Yeah, and it's like he's almost like a spot up shooter. Basically, he's a spot up shooter, undersized Reggie Miller type player, but without that consistency. I don't got no more Quickly.
Ralph, what you think on Quick tonight?
I'm going to keep it short. He needs to improve his shot selection. It wasn't too good today.
Cool. Trav, I agree with you. He's pissed off how good Halliburton's playing. Yeah, we have a rookie in the year that we could have had in the making. So, yeah, he would have been a perfect player on this team. So, Halliburton would have been pretty, and Christian Woods would have been pretty too. So, Guillermo, your thoughts on Quick tonight?
Well, first and foremost, the only thing I agree with Chuck on is that he's not a point guard; he's a combo guard. 2, you're talking about a guy who shot 40-some% from 3 in college. So, who cares what for him, because he was a cerebral shooter. Mm-hmm. Right? You're not going to change his form. You're in a 11 game sample. We're talking about he's never going to be this or that he has to change his true form.
No, not his form. not his form, but he need to shoot going straight up instead of shooting falling forward. Because he do it sometime. There's sometime when nobody's around him, when the defense ain't around him, he shoots it correctly going straight up. But when he's being defended and trying to get it off quicker, he's falling with the shot. So
I've also seen him take shots. I believe it was in the Hawks game where he was falling forward, taking that three from the wing, and he made it. So there might be some merit to that. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say the kid is not going to be. Oh, we should have had Halliburton like dogs, guys. We got to stop with this crap. Like, it's 11 games for a rookie. Like, chill out. Now, I agree with you. I don't think he's a point guard. I agree with you 1,000,000,000%. I said it earlier that he doesn't need to have the ball in his hands. I'd rather see, especially in these tougher games where guys are playing zone against us, I like to see him as an off-ball shooter. Put him in a corner, put him on the wing, have somebody dish it out to him. But to sit there and have these things, again, he had a hit pointer. He's a smaller guard, 6'3", 6'8" wingspan, skinny guy. I'm not sure if he's necessarily healed fully from it. And that could be an issue because now his defense, he's getting beat easily by guys. And I say he's a great defender, but I've seen him at least move his hips easier on other players. And when you get hip issues, back issues, you can't slide your feet and your hips as fluidly. So that could be a problem. Now, I'm making an excuse for him. Again, his strength is not up there, but I'm gonna give the kid some time. Again, Tom Thibodeau, look, the way Tom Thibodeau's using a lot of these guys, it's ugly basketball. But I'll ask you guys this. Do you guys want to see ugly basketball that could possibly come into better basketball for years to come? Or do you just want to see if these guys work on these guys' strengths now?
No.
Take it, Freeze.
I think we. Hey, Foxy, you ready to get out of here?
I am ready to get out of here.
Okay.
Oh, Foxy.
So,
I'm
you'll just kick it, Freeze, to when you're finished. You'll kick it to Kevin to finish up on quick.
Okay. Hey, so I'll let them eat. I'm on the way to the computer right now, so that I have better service.
Okay.
So you'll see me in HD and high def and all that good stuff.
Okay. Hey,
don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere, Chuck B. I got something for you.
Okay, Freeze, you know this, but I won't be here tomorrow night. But I will be here Wednesday night for the Nets game. So I'll see my family on Wednesday.
Yep.
So, Kev, you want to take it on quick?
Kevin.
That a boy.
Is he muted?
Huh?
Quickly, Kevin, quickly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was,
Yeah. When you finish up, just out of courtesy, I like always hearing everyone's take. I don't want to treat like your take's not important.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I said I don't recall. I think it was last night before. Quickly he's shooting, like I said, he's shooting like every time he shoots, he's like he's looking for contact. And so he has that herky-jerky motion. It's like instead of just shooting normally, you don't have it's like he just wants to initiate the contact just to go to the free throw line or something. I mean, I guess it's good every once in a while to do.
That's
but
what I was thinking when Chuck was saying that maybe his muscle memory he's shooting that way because his brain's saying he's trying to draw the foul even if somebody's not around. He's falling forward like that.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I wish like someone like Johnny Bryant would come up like you don't have to do that. You don't have to, because it's messing up. He's doing it like when he's wide open shooting. So I mean, teams have adjusted to him because he's not an overly fast guard. He's not overly bulky, so he's going to have to knock down his shots. He's going to have to be able to facilitate for others, which he isn't doing either. He throws up a bunch of shots that just look bad too. It's like, okay, that was weird. That could have been a pass to somebody else. You could have set up a play. Like, if anyone I expect to set up a play for other people is Quickley. But he's not even doing that at a high level, like he was during the preseason. Like in the preseason, he was just playing. It's just like he was playing, like he was in the flow of things. And now it's just like he's kind of robotic. I don't know if there's like, okay, this is the system. We let you have your fun in the preseason, but we need you to play in the system. But if that's the case, this is a Tibbs thing. So I got to look at that too. I do think like Tibbs is trying to bottle up these players and not use them. He's being like Adam Gase, and I said this last night.
Oh no!
Tibbs is coaching like Adam Gase. He's forcing his system and not playing to his players' strengths. And like Yamo said, like he doesn't play with pace, but the majority of the players on this team would benefit from playing with pace, which is just contradictory to Tibbs' style. So, like I said, this might just be a Tibbs issue why some of these players are struggling the way they are. That's it.
All right. Anything else, fellas?
No.
All right, then I'll leave it up to you
To fight?
fight, or if you want to talk about Noel. I know that's a real interesting topic. So,
I'll say that Noel played with a lot more energy than he has the last couple games.
oh, no doubt. He, I think he was the only one. He was a +6 versus everybody else. 15 minutes, 2 for 2 from the field, 7 3-pointers, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Yeah, he was the only one on the plus side tonight. So, gentlemen, have a good night. I'll see you Wednesday, family. And as always, really, really appreciate all your support. God bless.
See you. See you
Nice,
soon.
dude.
Freezy and jump back right in.
Yeah, that's typical. Actually, I gotta give you 1 second.
He said that's typical Freezy. God emoji Logic. You good, man?
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm here. What's up?
Chilling, man.
Chilling.
Talk about PSJ. What the? Look at this.
Oh, I'll Jay-Z
Jay-Z
for you, Freezy.
guy, man.
Hey,
Bro.
hey, man. I
I
heard.
was about to put it for you.
Hey, man.
Good.
What the hell is that? What's
good.
You going swimming? What the hell is
What is good?
that? He's having fun of Freezy.
Yeah, you like that? That's my accent.
Was good.
Yo, this guy
Must have been the building.
Yeah, hey, that's fresh out of Tahiti. If you're not from Tahiti, you don't know what that means. You don't know how
this guy is he's a smiley guy, man.
Yo, I got some pause. I got some pause I need to lay on Legion of Knicks podcast
My Lord.
and on Chuck B and on Kev W. God of Moses and Elijah was good. Good.
You got a mic stand, Freezy?
Yeah, I got a mic stand.
Nice.
Yeah. So the I heard a discussion, and I think Foxy tiptoed around it a lot. I don't know if he was leaving some meat on the bone for me, or if the conversation didn't go that way. But this thing about Kevin Knox's shooting, about RJ Barrett's shooting, about Emmanuel Quickley's shooting, I don't think it's just on an individual player. First of all, Kevin Knox is not a sharpshooter yet. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Knox is a decent shooter that looks great amongst terrible shooters. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know how the pretty girl is walking with a whole bunch of ugly girls, and you like, golly, she fine. No, she ain't really that. She really a 5, but when she walking with 2s, you know what I'm saying? It make her look like an 8. No, So
he's a hopeful man. It's like, look, if he could string along 5 of these games where he's hitting from the corner, he's getting clean looks. You know what I mean? Like, then
Listen, I've learned from Guillermo that I'm not gonna fall.
But Kev.
I'm not even falling for the trap.
Kev, before you get touchy, you might want to hear me out on this. Before you get touchy about Knox, hear me out. So my thing about Elfrid Payton's shooting, and RJ Barrett's shooting, and Reggie Bullock's shooting, and Emmanuel Quickley's shooting, and Obi Toppin's shooting, and Julius Randle's shooting, and I'm talking about shooting from the perimeter. I'm talking about just perimeter shooting and at the basket. I think it's not the individual players' shortcomings that should be highlighted. I think we have a culture of cats coming to New York and forgetting how to shoot. And I know it seems simple and base. It seems like, you say, well, how come it's just the Knicks? Well, when you look at other organizations have a culture of shooting, right? Like for instance, just a random team, the Washington Wizards, right? The Washington Wizards have a culture of knocking down the three ball. So much so that during the offseason, teams were looking to acquire their shooters, right? Because they have a culture of knocking down the three ball. The Golden State Warriors have a culture of knocking down the three ball. The Houston Rockets have a culture of knocking down the three ball, right? The Knicks, however, have a culture that's in the opposite direction. What we like to do is put all of our emphasis, everybody in our culture, everybody in the Knicks kingdom, from the players all the way through to the oldest fans, value defense more than shooting, right? And I know with me saying this, it sparks an argument, because people will say, well, no, not really, Uncle Freezy. I mean, if you can shoot, you can shoot. Nah. Look at the guys that were historically decent shooters. They come to New York, and what do they become? Right? They you look at your Courtney Lees, your Anna Flalos, your who was here recently? Wayne Ellingtons, your Reggie Bullocks. They go from being decent 3-point shooters for their career over years now, not just a small sample size, not just 1 year where they got hot and maybe, like 1 year, maybe they changed their diet and their biorhythms were right and they became decent shooters, right? Nah, these people historically were decent NBA 3-point shooters. They get to New York, and what happens? They become the opposite, right? So when you look at a guy like Kevin Knox, right, who I forget who said it. Somebody told me this morning that his form looks pretty. That's why we should keep him on the court. And I compared it to wearing a pair of brand new Jordan 11s to work to dig ditches. So you don't, it's not effective. So being pretty is not effective in that case. What you want is something that's going to be effective, right? So when you look at the 3-point shooting, and right now when I said missing 3-point shots is in our culture, right? The first thing people will say, well, man, that's so far-fetched, Uncle Freezy. So look at this. Look at the sample size you have this year. Compare it to the sample size last year. Compare it to the sample size in 2018 and 2017. And so what you don't have, what you have is beyond a pattern. Because of what a pattern does, in a pattern shows you all the sides of a thing so you know how to complete it, right? But this is not a pattern for the Knicks. This is not up and down. This is a culture. We don't shoot the 3-ball well because we don't value it. And I think it comes from something inside of our institution, right? Like we would rather have, for instance, say, a Mo Harkless over a Mook Morris, right? And Mook Morris, we'd rather have a Mo Harkless and a first-round pick over a Mook Morris. And don't disagree with me on this. Don't look crazy and say, no, I'd rather have they rather have Mook. No, they didn't rather have Mook because they traded Mook for a defensive guy in a first-round pick. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we had a 3-point shooter, in the building, that was a great 3-point shooter, right? We traded him away because we didn't value the 3-point shooting. We valued defense and draft picks. Now we have defense and draft picks, but we complain about 3-point shooting, right? Like so when I was thinking about this point, while I was going about the stuff, I was listening to everything y'all said, and everything y'all was saying was right on a base where it's like, if you just want to put it on the individual player, right? If you want to just put it on the individual player, I mean, I could see that. I don't necessarily agree, right? Because what we talked about this offseason is, well, you know, Thibodeau's going to bring in his defense. Thibodeau's a defensive-minded coach, right? Okay, he's a defensive-minded coach, right? But where did our three-point shooting go? Now, imagine this, and just hear me out on it. Imagine if we had coaches that valued three-point shooting. What would Kevin Knox look like? Would Kevin Knox look like a 40% three-point shooter? Or would he look like a 45% three-point shooter on more attempts?
34.
Emmanuel. Now look at Emmanuel Quickley. Tom Thibodeau said, Emmanuel Quickley is one of the best shooters I've seen. That's a quote from him. He said that before we had preseason games, right? He said that. But the value over defense makes Emmanuel Quickley look like a guy that can't shoot. Look at RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett had a shooting coach all summer by himself. Everybody's, oh, the shot looks great. He comes back to Kane, comes in with Thibodeau, and guess what happens to RJ Barrett's shot that was looking great? It doesn't look great. And I'm here to tell you, it's because our organization, the Knicks, we don't value team offense, and we don't value three-point shooting. We value defense and ISO scorers. That's what we do.
Hold on. If RJ Barrett's taking a whole bunch of threes, obviously and he's allowed to do so, that means they do value three-point shooting. If they want even their worst so-called shooter, the wing, to shoot threes, and they're trying to get him to do that means they value that, right? If not, they would have probably had him not shooting threes, given the fact, and you know, he's not good at shooting threes, so they do value that. I think. I mean, we're kind of reaching for some narratives that
no. See, that's the thing. So does it, just because you do it, don't mean you necessarily like it. Like, I exercise, but I don't like it, but I know I need it.
No, but if you live in a house where you say you and your family, you know, you don't like exercising, but they said, hey, Freezy, we exercise every day, whether you like it or not. And you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then obviously the house values it, even if you don't like to do it. With RJ Barrett, if they didn't want to see if he could shoot threes, they wouldn't allow it. He'd be disallowed from shooting threes, or, you know, he only shoot one a game, right? They'd be like, no, you are not shooting.
So are you saying, or is that what you're saying, just in respect to RJ Barrett, or is it in respect to guys that could shoot before they got to the Knicks, like I said, and then their three-point shot disappeared?
No, but whose three-point shot that came to the Knicks disappeared? Rivers is shooting what from three? He shot 35% from three last year, right? I think he's shooting higher this year. I don't know. At one point, he's shooting like 55.6. I don't remember the number now. You know, who else saw three-point shooters? Bullock. He was shooting badly, but I believe probably more than half of his shots come from the three. So I'm confused. Like yeah. I think we're just trying to right now. It's boring to sit here and say, hey, let's chill out and just see how this team looks in 20, 30, 40 games. You know, we're trying to build up some of these narratives that just don't really make sense. Like, I mean, to sit here and say that they don't value threes, like, or to say that, you know, these guys are, again, you're talking about a team. Most of these guys the guys will come over. Rivers came from what? Houston, playoff team. Bullets came from.
Did Houston value the three ball?
Yeah.
Right. But you can say they value the three, right? Hey, so
yeah, that's the personnel.
But do the New York Knicks value the three-point shot?
Yeah, I mean, but I think that, I mean, they have these guys shooting threes. I'll put like this. I think we're actually low with regards to how many threes they shoot, but that's Tom Thibodeau's style of offense. It's not necessarily that they don't want people to shoot threes.
So it's not a priority.
No, but they also don't take shots. I don't think they take a lot of shots, period. They literally have a slow pace, wind down the shot clock, and then take a shot. Like, that's for everything. Why do you think he likes? I say likes, but that's why guys like Elfrid Payton still start, because he slows down the pace, or so-called controls the pace. I think Tom Thibodeau likes that. But you know, other teams, obviously, their personnel, they have the personnel like the Warriors of yesteryear shoot threes, because they have a bunch of. Well, they had two shooters. Houston Rockets, you had James Harden, who the offense is based around him.
What about Portland? Do they value the three? Or the Portland Trailblazers, they value the three-pointer or defense?
Probably more so the three, right? I mean, you have McCollum, but that's also because look at their talent. We don't have talent like that to where you can give it guys that are just bombing threes. Don't.
Yeah, you got to base it on the roster.
No, man. So that's one of the things that I'm telling you. That's one of the things about the organization is what I'm saying is if we look at the things on the surface level, then we get into this thing where we feel like none of this stuff makes sense. But they built the roster in the image of what they wanted to see. Basically, they value defense more than 3-point shooting. If they didn't, is that my mic? That sounds like that.
Yeah, I think that's yours. Yeah, I was going to tell you too.
Like you driving.
I also want to say something to that, Freezy, when you have a chance.
No, go ahead.
No, I actually do think that Tibbs does value 3 points, just because in the preseason, one of the first things I saw was Frank go 4 for 4 from 3. Elfrid Payton, I think he helped us win games shooting 3-pointers, where he surprised everybody and he just started shooting the threes. Look, we're seeing RJ struggle shooting threes, and it's not like Tibbs is getting upset with RJ. He's still letting him shoot his shot, and also Kevin Knox is shooting the 3 more often, but he's making them great. Who else is shooting the 3? Emmanuel Quickley was shooting the ball okay. I mean, he's a 40% 3-point shooter. Austin Rivers shooting threes. Burks too was shooting the ball 3. I think this team. I was surprised.
The one game Obi played shot. Well, how many threes? 11 or something like that.
I think 2 for 7, right? Or 3 for 7.
No, was it like 3 for 7? Because he banked one. He got lucky on one. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rob.
But the thing I do agree with you though. I feel the fans complain about the Knicks shooting threes. Like, oh, I don't want to see Elfrid Payton shoot a 3. I think that point you have an argument there. But there might be an argument that you're making about not shooting threes and not caring about. I don't have a problem RJ shooting going 0 for 5 today. But somebody else is like, oh, I'm tired of seeing him shooting threes. And I think that's part of today's game. And that's the only way you could break.
Man, I think y'all missing my point here.
Okay.
Right. And so the reason why I say I think y'all are missing my point is because this offseason, when the Knicks could have gone out and acquired 3-point shooting, they chose to go get defense.
But they went after Gordon Hayward and they struck out. Remember?
Also went after Fred VanVleet and struck out. So
yeah, and they brought back. They had the wink deal with Elfrid Payton the whole way.
I was pushing for Gordon Hayward. Remember, I was like, yo, we need to sign Gordon Hayward. We need Gordon Hayward. And they actually really tried to go after Gordon Hayward. They didn't go after the $30 million. I think there might be an argument that they like value 3-point.
Yeah. So when you think about New York Knicks offense, or when you think about the New York Knicks, in terms of personality, what's the first thing you think about?
The fan base loves defense. They don't even care about 3-point shooting. I would agree with you on that part.
Hold up. They literally killed RJ for taking and miss a whole bunch of threes. Like, what guys? I did it. You can't say and just put all the fan base in one group. Like to sit and say we don't care about 3, we care about defense. It's just that people think they're nostalgic when you think about Knicks' success. But Steve Novak was a freaking hero, and he only really had 1 year. Yeah, of really bombing threes here. Like,
and we traded him for Bargnani because we don't value 3-point shooting.
No, that's not, bro. We had an inept owner. We still have an inept owner and inept front offices. Like, it's not. We didn't trade it because we literally thought we were smart in the market, and we saw something in Bargnani that no one else did. Like, okay, if that's the case, we didn't value Steve Novak. Okay, we also don't value first-round picks then because we trade them all the time. No, we just had stupid front offices that made dumb decisions for overvalued players.
What's the? I'm sorry, I got him. I just wanted to just throw this in there. So what is the personality makeup of this team right now? Then
there is none.
Yeah, they're trying to build one. Like we're 11 games in, guys. I don't think if you saw the let me tell you, because they were doing it for years, right? But we're sitting here with a new team. I don't know where Thibodeau's going to take us, right? But I guess the first year that Mark Jackson had that Warriors team, no one sat there in the first 10 years and said, yeah, man, what's the culture?
No, the first 10 games. You said first 10 years. First 10 games.
I'm sorry, first 10 games. I'm sorry about that. It's first 10 games. No one's sitting there saying, oh, yo, what's the culture? It's like we have to get – it's boring, but we have to give these guys time, right? We have to give Thibodeau time to develop certain guys, to see who's going to stay, who's going to go, who could develop what. I mean, he was not given this team. The only 2 players he really is responsible for, outside of free agents, the drafts is Obi and Quickley. And to tell you the truth, Obi, I feel like is more of a Leon Rose guy. I feel like Quickley is more of a Tibbs guy. And before Tibbs got hurt or Quickley got hurt, he had little flashes here and there where he looked like a solid combo guard for Tibbs. So we legit. It may not get for a few more years until we see what the what's the name is. But for one thing, I will say, you see little spurts of it. You see resiliency, right? The Jazz game, even this game until it came out of hand. At one point, we were down by 2. And it was looking like we come back. Kevin Knox, again, it's a young team. I think they're low IQ, not great talent. But one thing I think that Tibbs want, the timeouts they call, every mistake, not every mistake, every few mistakes, Tibbs is timeout. Guys are teaching. Johnny Bryant, the other guy, Kenny Payne, teaching the kids, talking to them, telling them what they did wrong. Remember when Knox had that one foul against Trae Young? Who'd you see talking to him? It was Johnny Bryant literally doing a woosah on him and teach him, hey, turn around. When Knox was pissed, like, hey, blah, blah, blah. So right now, it's all about teaching and develop these guys. Maybe that's a culture, but let's chill before we put some long term.
I'm telling you. I
want to answer your question. I want to answer your question real fast if I have a chance. To answer your question I think Tibbs is trying to really develop a 3-point shooting team. Believe it or not, I really do. With Kevin Knox emerging, with RJ taking his shots, I think he's going to take less threes, and I think he's going to take less shots. But I think he's eventually going to get effective. But I think he is developing RJ to be a 3-point shooter. Randle's becoming a 36% 3-point shooter. Knox, I think that he is truly big built. Elfrid Payton is shooting threes. Frank, when he comes back in the rotation, he will be shooting threes. I think he is building that slowly but surely. He is building a 3-point shooting culture.
It's a half-court, slow-paced team. That's what it is.
Yeah. So it's he takes it down to the last second, not the last second, but again, we take off so much time on the clock to set things up. You see it like we are.
He running Bill Parcells' offense, except in basketball.
He's not. But the funniest thing, people talk about the try, but he doesn't even run it like you just seen it a few times, like in the past few games. But people, like he doesn't run it like that. But again, it's all a teaching process. It's all a teaching, year for these guys, development, right? You've seen them run a lot of wing action and kick out to the wing, but we don't have shooters, so it just looks like, we suck. But it's like there are a lot of things they're trying to do, and this is again what we wanted with Fizdale, right? We see it when with Fizdale. It's funny. With Fizdale, we sat here and said, he doesn't teach these kids. He doesn't do anything, blah, blah, blah. Tibbs comes here. Man, this offense, man, this guy suck. RJ shooting too many threes, guys. It's like, well, what do you want? What do you want us to work on certain things to see who should stay here or not? Or do you want us to be more, try to run veterans out there to try to win as many? Like, what do we want from Thibodeau?
So when we hired Tibbs, my main thing was like, okay, so I want stability. and I want some respect around the league, but what I don't want is another Larry Brown situation. Like you bring in a guy who thinks, saying this is his way or the highway. And when players are like, yo, this mess is predictable, let's do something else. You start getting in this weird space where the coach looks like he's a dinosaur in today's game. That was my worst fear. And to be honest with you, the last 2 games, when some adjustments probably should have been made, like for instance, I heard Kevin W say, when Knox was hot, why not keep giving the ball to Knox, right? If that were Mike D'Antoni, he'd have wore Knox down. Knox would have been drenched with sweat from shooting, right? With Tom Thibodeau, it's pass the ball, play team ball, man, get your shots in the flow of the offense. And if you don't get another shot, it just,
But D'Antoni, okay, so you say about D'Antoni, but we would have lost that Bucks game, right? You guys don't look at the good he's doing where we played that team defensively to a T. That was masterclass teaching right there by Tom Thibodeau in terms of you cloud the paint. And not masterclass. I say it like that. That's hyperbole. But, you played them to shut down their bottleneck strength, which was Giannis, right? Right. And Knox, we love talking about all these threes and stuff, but Knox defensively, something that we talk about where if Knox cannot shoot, we want him to produce in other ways, right? And one of those ways we talked about, Kevin, right, was defense. And Knox had his best defensive game against the Bucks, right? D'Antoni is not having Knox have that type of defense against the Bucks. I'm sorry, Knox would have gotten killed if that was D'Antoni.
Simba Singh said it only took 10 games for us. No, we're a joke because we're a joke.
Nah,
it didn't take 10, 11 games for us to get here. we were already the ass of the joke. We were already the punchline.
Y'all were praising the team last week.
We were already the punchline. The thing is with us is when we point out when the realists start saying, "Hey, I told you we were losers," then everybody's like, "Yeah, man, just be patient. We're losers. We just want to be real about the situation. One day we'll be a winner." No, dog. You don't root for your team like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, what is that? That's crazy to me. Simma Singh, listen, we were a joke for 21 years. This is year 21 right here. To say you say that like we won 7 championships in the last 20 years, and that I'm turning on a team that won some championships. No. And y'all know in your hearts of hearts that the culture in New York is this. We like defense over offense. Don't say that you don't. Because I read y'all comments in the chat. I read y'all comments. Oh man, defense, we need to be more stuff. We need a big body big on the inside. We need to do such and such.
Great point.
But we don't, but what we don't do is when we miss 2 shots in a row, we don't go and say, hey, or we rarely do. What we rarely do is say, hey, we missed 2 shots in a row. Sure wish we had a dude that could score. Sure wish we had a second option behind Randle.
We say that all the time. Whoa, Freezy. We say that all the time, bro. What are you talking about?
Okay,
we literally complain about lack of scorers on this team all the time. Like, what? Where are you, Freezy?
I got to take after you finish. I want to say something after that.
Okay, great. So Freezy, I think what you're doing is reaching right now. Again, if we had a team with a bunch of scorers and we had the same record, right? And we looked bad as we did in the bad games or whatever, and looked good, we would still be sitting here complaining about defense. It doesn't matter whether you have inefficiencies on a team.
That's one thing about being a realist. They be dug in.
Yeah, okay, but hold on, but Freezy. Tom Thibodeau, and I said this before, and you guys, when we were winning, people came at me, people came at Chuck. When I said this team is not that talented, Chuck said the same thing. They just look at this team, we 5-3. Well, you told me we don't have a lack of talent. Now you're seeing that you can't coach up players who aren't that talented to the so-called playoff level of basketball.
That's not what I said. That's not even what I said.
So much.
That's not even what I said. So what I said was the Knicks have a culture that's not conducive to 3-point shooting. Dudes come here and literally forget how to shoot. That's what I said.
Freezy, this is my whole thing about shooting. Shooters cost money. And when it comes to trading for a shooter or signing a shooter, most players, most fans have an issue. They don't want Gordon Hayward to the Knicks. They don't find it valuable. That they don't think $25 million is worth Gordon Hayward. They don't think Buddy Hield's shooting is worth it. So if you value shooting, you would say, you know what, this guy's contract is worth signing because we need a valuable shooter because shooting is important. But usually when you talk about trading for a shooter or signing for a shooter, most Knicks fans, if you listen to them, they'll say, nah, we just need defense. We don't need shooting. I haven't heard.
Ralph, what dimension?
Ain't that what I just said?
What dimension do you live in where these Knicks fans always seem to like?
I know.
Weird. What are you talking about, bro?
I mean, I think you're one of them too. I think you're one of on Twitter, and also I don't think. I mean, you telling me you want to go to Hayward or Buddy Hield?
I don't. I didn't want either of those guys because Buddy Hield was a player that 2 of his coaches wanted to bench him.
Right.
And because Buddy Hield again was a headache for the team. We talking about he's a shooter, but we don't look at
name me one shooter that you want.
We went after Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward was a $30 million. Well, he came out to be $30 million player who had 2 gruesome injuries. That was looking for big money. He went to a team that's more talented than us. So what I don't get is like all the they're also fans that wanted him. What do you?
First, I think Gordon Hayward. Me personally, I think he would have shot fine here. Name me one shooter that you would want to the Knicks. Name me one, just one. A shooter
To trade for?
free agency shoot for? I haven't heard you not once say, "Hey, listen, I want a shooter in this team. I want this shooter. I want to trade for. I would trade for this shooter."
Because you don't listen. I want a restricted free agent offer if we could have gotten one for Brandon Ingram. I think he shot 38%.
Come on, Brandon Ingram.
You just asked me a question of who I wanted. I asked you what. You said anything, free agent, whatever, trade for. I gave you a thing, and now that doesn't fit. I also said I wouldn't mind. I've opened up, even though I don't like the ACL injuries. I would, if the price is right, for Zach LaVine. What else do you want me to say? I also said I think Kyle Korver's a free agent. I said, why don't we look at him? Maybe he's waiting for
this. Is again. I feel like I do listen, and all I'm listening to is you will do it, but it'll be very difficult on the player who it is. If Bogdan Bogdanovic was available, would you want Bogdan Bogdanovic from the Knicks? I don't know. I doubt you would. I feel like most Knicks fans will be like, nah, it's too much money. We need defense.
Or he don't play defense.
Yeah, he don't play defense. He don't play defense. That's the conversation.
Have you ever seen somebody say, do not pick up such and such because we need more defense? I've seen people literally make videos.
I think you're up there. Be honest. I think you're up there. I think if you listen to your own videos, you're leading the pack in talking about, nah, he don't play no defense. We don't need Buddy Hield. No, Gordon Hayward doesn't play that much good. I think.
Hold on. Because now you're stepping into idiotic territory.
So how's it idiotic?
I talk about Buddy Hield. Did I also not talk about Buddy Hield having issues on the team?
But we're talking about if you need shooting, but you need shooting.
And I also talk about Buddy Hield putting out tweets against his own team.
But you need shooting.
That there were rumors of them looking to move on from. Did I also talk about that?
But you need shooting.
Man, but
that's what you do, God. You talking about? I say some of my videos. First of all, I don't talk about Buddy Hield 24/7. I get care less about Buddy Hield. And I said I didn't want Buddy Hield. I gave reasons as to why I didn't want him.
Again. Freezy's right.
What pack am I leading? I'm hardly even
defense. We don't need. You know what you said?
Leading? Yo, Chuck,
let me answer. I'm gonna answer it.
No. Let me answer.
I don't wanna.
You're talking out your boat right now. Chuck, when you see me on Twitter, do I lead the pack of saying that we don't need shooters on the Knicks, that we need to have that we should only have defense? Do I say that, Chuck?
Man, I don't know. We talk about a lot of stuff.
That when I'm on Twitter, because I'm in a thread with Chuck, I'm only bass with Twitter thread I'm on. When I'm on that thread, do you see me say that, we don't need shooting, we need to only have defense? Do I need to pack on the Twitter? Like, what are you talking about, dog?
I don't see nobody saying that. I don't even.
Man, y'all bugging. Y'all are bugging if you think the Knicks culture is not defense first. If y'all are saying, if y'all are saying on a live stream that the Knicks culture is not defense first,
Freezy, it's not it's not even all defense. It's only about defense and shooting. We could get it through the draft. That's what along the lines you guys talk. I'm not lying, bro. I'm not lying.
Hey, so God of Moses and Elijah, I'm good to knock Legion of the Knicks podcast out the box right here. I didn't want to do this. I did not want to do this.
Oh my Lord.
I did not want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the Ghostface Killer, right? Because he's undefeated in the debate arena.
I'm not debating. No.
You're not debating because you're gonna lose. You don't want this smoke for this.
Yeah, I know.
You smoke for other stuff.
I'm not fighting anymore.
So he and I, so God of Moses and Elijah, and Chuck was there. He and I legit debated about who the Knicks should draft at 8, right?
Yeah.
And so I debated for a guy that was a 3-point shooter, right? Guess who he debated for?
And what is Devin Vassell?
He debated a dude that was defense first.
Whoa. Chuck, you see the effery, right? I literally, Devin Vassell is a 3-and-D player.
Oh, here we go with 3-and-D. Here we go with 3-and-D.
A 3-point shooter. And I mentioned his game against Virginia where he hit 7 to 8 3. Like, I gotta sleep. You guys are going crazy. I said Devin Vassell because
I think my man
the argument with Devin Vassell Naismith was not to say it was literally to argue who fit and there were 5 questions. I forgot what the 5 questions were. We talk about offense. We also talk about defense.
Mm-hmm.
And you were the same one talking about Naismith's underrated defense that he did not have. So you were arguing the same thing. So my argument
was pro 3-point shooting because that's what we needed.
But
the questions I was asked led to discussing his defense. I was a proponent of his 3-point shooting because we needed it. And the questions I was asked in that debate. You moved the goal. See, you trying to move these goalposts on me. I'm too slick for that. You can do that with Chuck B. But I'm too slick for that.
Freezy, the video is online. If you want to play, you should actually slice it.
I didn't ask the questions. I did not create the questions in my own debate.
Devin Vassell is not a defense first player. The thing I said was that his ceiling in terms of being a scorer is probably limited, but he does both things at a decent enough level that I would take him versus Naismith, who was injured and was one-dimensional. Is that not what I said, Freezy?
What was that one dimension?
The shooting.
So you argued. So you literally said 10 seconds, and so you just said that you argued against Aaron Nesmith, and his one dimension was 3-point shooting. But you just said for 30 minutes that you don't value defense over 3-point shooting.
No, Freezy, you're not going to do this. You're not gonna play. We're arguing over two prospects as to who in totality is better. That's not to say I did not want shooting in the draft. I'm also the same person that said, yo, we could have had Quickley at 33. And who did I want at 27 or 25? Desmond Bane. And what is Desmond Bane?
I like
exactly. Desmond Bane. A 4-year college starter who shot 40% from 3, I believe, for 4 years.
Right. I like Desmond Bane.
Talk about Derek Naismith and Vassell doesn't mean I don't want shooting. It's to say how much more I want somebody who has more perceivable value than the other.
Can I say something?
Okay.
First, Devin Vassell is a good 3-point shooter. He shot over 40% from college. So I kind of respect his 3-point shooter. I just want to put that out there. Either or would have been great. I just like Aaron Naismith offense more. He knows how to draw fouls and the whole nine. So I just want to get that out of the way. But the whole thing is that we still needed a shooter in free agency, and everybody was upset. A lot of people did not want to Gordon Hayward. Were opposed to Buddy Hield, and that's what gets me upset. We need
Uncle Fulio is with us. Uncle Fulio agrees. Thank you.
Go. For me, we need shooting, and a lot of people just don't value it. It's not that important. It's just not that important.
That's what I'm saying. So now,
it's not.
Hey, so now that the defense and the defensive head coach look suspect, right? We want to blame the shooting. Right, so the defense, our culture looks suspect because we brought in the guy. Hey, wait till after such and such amount of time. Let him get his thing in place. Hey, man, after 11 games, our defense looks trash. But you know what we want to do? We don't want to blame the coach or the culture. We want to blame the players. You know what I mean? That's what we do here, right? We don't blame. We don't look at the culture or the coach. We don't look at the front office. We don't look at all these surrounding parts. All we look at is the players on the court. RJ Barrett's shooting is terrible. That's the reason why we lose. Right? That's what we're saying right now. Kevin Knox needs more touches and they won't give them to him. That's the reason why we're losing right now. Right? But our value, and just like a lot of teams in New York, just like the Giants in football, the Knicks in basketball, they value defense over everything. And for those that say that we don't really understand the culture, you know what I'm saying? Like I root for a team in the New York Mets who said F defense, F defense. We're gonna go with power and pitching, right? And our shortstop has been terrible for years, but we leave him there in hopes that he can provide offense, right? And I understand that. I understand it. I get that. I get that part. Right? But the Giants historically and the Knicks historically have built their culture around defense, not 3-point shooting. And we argue this thing. We argue this thing in hopes of somebody is going to look at us as being right. I was hoping that I would introduce this to the conversation so that somebody can help me figure out some other stuff. But to say that the Knicks culture is not steeped in defense is crazy. We don't value defense like we value other stuff. We don't value defense like we value 3-point shooting. And the fact that y'all said, well, we slow the ball down and let the shot clock go down so that we could just, go up a shot. Dog, what y'all saying? Like basically what I'm telling y'all. The Knicks, they don't value offense as much, right? But they value 3-point shooting even less because the culture is defense first. I mean, it is what it is. And guys,
we have a team that's not that talented, right? This is where these weird arguments come out. Like to sit here and say that we don't value 3-point shooting, right? Granted, we don't take a lot, but that's also the style of play. If we probably had better players, you probably see more of it. But also to sit here and say we don't value it, just again, 11 games into Tom Thibodeau's tenure, where he didn't even have a freaking offseason.
That's what I'm saying. We going round
no,
and round.
It doesn't make sense. What is it? Do you okay? The Atlanta Hawks valued 3-pointers. I don't know how many 3-pointers it took, but they try to mimic the Atlanta Hawks model last year with Kevin Porter.
No, they tried to mimic the Golden State.
Right, and where did that go?
Nowhere. They were year one of it.
Why are we trying to compare ourselves to other? Let's look at what we have now. We don't have a lot of talent. So even if, we have a team that just jacks a bunch of 3-point shots, we lose. What's the difference? Guys aren't developing. What's the difference? The only thing that's complaining about is pace. And I agree with you. I hate the pace of this team. We literally wait. I know you're mimicking me. We say, we wait. And it's true. We wait.
I didn't mimic y'all.
We try to wait for a perfect shot, and it's not there because we don't have the talent. I would rather have a team that sits there and takes more shots per possession for each possession. I'd rather have a team that takes. But again, it's 11 games in. We don't have a lot of talent, right?
So what I'm telling you is, so you keep talking, you keep pointing back to the roster, and I keep pointing at the culture. You keep pointing at the roster. And I'm pointing at the culture.
Create a culture like the Atlanta Hawks. Have them just jack threes, and we lose, and people aren't developing. What are you guys going to say then?
So I'm gonna get away from that question and ask you this because that's the merry-go-round. I don't want to get on the merry-go-round.
Crazy.
What I want to do is I want to talk about the culture, the culture. So the fact that the Knicks hired Tom Thibodeau as the head coach goes to show you that the culture values defense, right? I'm not talking about the roster because the roster is made up from the front office and the coaching staff and everybody else is involved in the organization, right? I ain't gonna talk about the roster. I'm talking about the culture. The culture shows us that we don't value 3-point shooting. If you're a 3-point specialist, the Knicks really don't have a use for you. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks want guys that can defend and play hard. That's what they want.
So why did they draft Obi?
This conversation makes no sense. Oh my gosh!
Why did they draft Obi? That's the newest acquisition. You hired
because they felt like it.
No. You said it's on defense.
I know what I said.
Why they draft quickly?
But how about Chuck get to his point?
No, all right. Your point is the culture is defense, and they drafted 2 offensive players, and one is terrible on defense.
One shot 40% from 3.
So okay, all right. So you're asking me why did the front office draft 2 offensive guys, right? Is that what you're saying?
If the culture does not value 3-point shooting, or what you're saying?
Yeah, the culture does not value 3-point.
Why would you draft them then?
I'm not for sure. Why would you? If the culture didn't value defense, why did you hire Tom Thibodeau?
Yeah, but again, your coaches.
Because y'all keep pointing at the roster. I keep telling y'all the roster.
Now you're trying to run away from
the roster itself does not set the culture. The roster is a byproduct of the culture.
Yes, it does.
No, the roster is a byproduct of the culture.
Okay, so why when the Golden State Warriors have both Monte Ellis and Stephen Curry, why did they go with Stephen Curry? And why did they build around Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson and not Monte Ellis, who's a good slasher but couldn't shoot?
Because Monte Ellis was a combo guard and Steph Curry.
And he couldn't shoot. So why did they build around? If they didn't value shooting, why they build? Why did they trade him off? Monteos was still.
Okay, wait a minute. So wait a minute. Are we talking about Golden State? Are we talking about a team that won the NBA Finals 3 out of 5 years?
What?
Because of 3-point shooting? Is that really where you want to go?
They were one of
because we value defense and we ain't won shit.
You're moving away from the question. No,
I'm just saying. Because you said why did they do what the thing with Steph Curry because they went.
Every team's culture is modeled by their best players, right? And if you have really highly
hold
on. The Lakers are still living off of the allure of the Showtime Lakers led by Magic Johnson. When you think about the Lakers, even before Kobe and Shaq, as great as they were, you still think about the Showtime Lakers, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. Despite the 2008 championship, you still think of the Celtics as a Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, that squad. When you think of the Golden State Warriors, you think of what? You don't, not to say Steve Kerr didn't have a hand in it, but you think of who? Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, the Splash Brothers. Every team's a culture is built off of their most successful players. Even the Knicks winning. The last time successful was what?
No, man, that's wrong. Their team president was Jerry West. Their GM was Chris Mullin.
Easy.
They had Chris Mullin. These dudes brought an offensive mindset to that organization.
Breezy.
This is an organization known for Run TMC. This is the organization known for Rick Barry. This organization values offense.
Freezy, when you think about the Lakers, who do you think about first, Jerry West or Magic Johnson?
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I would say Magic probably.
So then that means that your culture, as great of an executive, one of the greatest of all time in any sport, Jerry West. When you think of culture, it's molded by your best players. Period.
No, dog, you can't say it like that, man, because the players don't set your culture.
Yes,
the organization have to go out and pick a guy.
Freezy, hold on. Here's a culture for you, and it's not a great one. Literally, what was the Houston Rockets culture built off of? This most recent one. James Harden. Why they want to give him a $50 million deal? To try to preserve what they've invested in for the past how many years? James Harden basically had more power than Daryl Morey because he was a star of that team. The culture was built around him. Reason why you get rid of CP3, Westbrook, Melo, like with ease, because of Harden. He set the culture. All of your basketball teams, their cultures are set by what? Your most cherished or successful players. Period. The executives, and they both need each other. I'm not saying one is not important, one is better without the other. But again, if you have an executive as great as Phil Jackson, or as great as Phil Jackson was as a coach, he couldn't get players or the right players to build a successful team, right? So he's going to fall as great as he was. He didn't get this 30-year contract. Your culture is built by the success of your players. Phil Jackson made his.
Oh my God.
They built the Bulls culture for who?
Man, you're so naive. You're so naive with that stuff. The players don't offer players contracts, right? The players don't offer other players contracts. The organization goes and offers players contracts. The organization drafts players. You know what I'm saying? You so naive, and I get it because you have a love affair with this thing in like a romantic way, and I dig it.
Pat is agreeing with you. Everybody's saying, bro, you're out of your mind.
Because they don't get it. Because they've been fed the same thing for 20,000 years.
If I have RC Buford and I don't have successful players to get me a championship and I'm not winning, you think they're going to continue to have RC Buford there?
Who drafted David Robinson and Tim Duncan? Did they draft themselves?
No,
they didn't. The organization drafted them. That's what I'm saying. Who goes out and signs free agents? Right, the players.
Answer the question. No. You said answer the question. Why did we draft a shooter in Quickley and a player who didn't play any defense in college and Obi? You didn't answer the question. You moved on. You tried to escape that, Freezy.
Yeah. Because I keep saying the same thing over and over, and I don't know if it's setting in. I think Chuck might be sleepy.
No, Chuck is wide awake. Chuck is waiting for you to answer.
I'm good.
No, you might be awake, but you damn sure ain't good.
You run away from the question now. Now you run away from the
Don't change the subject.
Yeah.
I just man, listen.
Even Knox wasn't drafted for defense. Thank you, Andre Bryant. Knox was not drafted for defense.
You don't know what Knox was.
He was not drafted for defense.
Okay.
Freezy.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Next week when this thing set in, y'all gonna be reluctant to admit that I was right.
Right about what?
About this thing is about y'all say the word culture like it's created by players. But anyway, listen. I'm still on, right? I'm gonna drop off. I gotta shoot back over real quick.
Hold on. The Bulls before Jordan came, right? So the Bulls before Jordan came, weren't they known as drug addicts? Like that culture is built by a bunch of lazy guys who didn't care about basketball. Jordan comes and he changed that culture with his winning and his attitude to basketball. Changed it where guys are serious. They took the game more serious. They worked out. You know what I mean? So it's like what I don't know. Freezer just likes to put these arguments, man. I'm not gonna.
Even I just want to say though, even I don't know, was it Alan Hahn or Wally Zerbeck? They said the same sentiments. A lot of Knicks fans are caught up with the '90s defense, and in today's league, you need to shoot the 3-ball. You need to score more, and that was absolutely. Did you guys hear that in the? No,
I didn't hear that.
He said that. I'm like, yo, he was so right.
Okay, but hold up.
I thought about this show.
What does that have to do with what the team does? Because you keep talking about fans, but you always try to tie it in with what the team does. Well, the fans don't matter to the team's decisions if they feel confident.
But I'm not gonna act like all summer when I was talking about Gordon Hayward. I had conversations with you about Buddy Hield and Gordon Hayward to the Knicks. Yes,
to be the guy has nothing to do with the fact they can't shoot or that they can shoot. No, the fact that Gordon Hayward was too expensive, coming off of major injuries, right? Buddy Hield, from what it seemed from the past 2 seasons, I won't say cancer, but was floating on that. And I made those points very clear. When did I ever say, oh, I don't care about them, the shooting? But Buddy Hield doesn't give effort on anything else. Doesn't do anything else despite averaging 20 points. And both coach last year, I believe, benched him. And the one before that, Yerger wanted to bench him. So you're talking about bringing on a possible malcontent on a team with a bunch of impressionable players. Where literally you this is how.
What about Gordon Hayward?
You gave the credit. No. You gave the credit to Julius Randle for turning his game around, right? Mm-hmm. That comes from what? Coaching, right? You think you bring a guy over like I'm not saying that Buddy Hield was a good 100% do this, but don't you think that if you need the players to buy into what the coach is doing, that you think that possibly bringing on a malcontent could possibly mess that up?
That's a good conversation, but
you're not going to answer it. Okay, fair enough. You're not going to answer it. Let's go to Gordon Hayward because you said at least a charge somewhere on defense. I don't know
what What about Gordon Hayward?
Gordon Hayward's too expensive.
Why is everybody
30 million for a guy? 30 million for a guy who had 2 major injuries. Are you paying that for 4 years? Hold on, let me ask you. Did you want Gordon Hayward, Chuck? No, I'm not trying to say it to the group. Let me get his.
No. Not on a rebuilding team, but on a team that was close, or a team that was close, but not for a rebuild. A team that only had like one or 2 legit starters. No.
I was okay. What about Bogdan Bogdanovic? What about him?
I think I was a fan of Bogdan Bogdanovic. Yeah, I like Bogdan Bogdanovic. Yeah. You didn't hear that though, right? You didn't hear that. Of course you didn't. You heard me when I talked about Brandon Ingram, right? When I said I would have given a restricted free agent there, right?
I mean, Brandon. All right.
No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether we get him or not. You heard
me. Answer you. Can I answer your question? Yes, but we like what was said before was hell no. Pelicans are not gonna get rid of him. So it's like this is something that everybody was like, no ways are the Pelicans gonna get rid of him.
Okay, Gordon Hayward rejected us, and you're still talking about Gordon Hayward. So, if my point is invalid because Brandon Ingram is not going to come here anyway, why are you bringing Gordon Hayward when we tried to get him and we failed?
Oh, the conversation is about fans or about people who do not value. Let me answer your question, but you cut. Let me answer your question. Who do not value outside shooting? I said outside. Before I said that, I said most people outside shooting costs money. And most people don't want to spend that money. Hence, Gordon Hayward. He's going to cost you money. Tobias Harris has good shooting, but he's going to cost you. Chris Middleton has good shooting, but that costs money. And most people look in your. I could, if you want me to find the video where we're having that conversation and you're telling me no, we don't need that. I'd rather just get Devin Vassell or just go for the draft for a player to get for outside shooter because those that's too expensive. I can show it. I can find it for you. But I'm telling you, you're telling me.
What the bro? Do you? I'm gonna try to be rude. When I mentioned Devin Vassell, that's cost benefit analysis. Not saying I don't want shooters. I'm saying I don't want to overpay for a shooter when I can draft one on the cheap. That has nothing to do
I need both. That's my whole thing. It's like
that's not your whole thing. That's not your whole thing. You're complaining about cost benefit analysis. I'm saying I'd rather get a shooter in a draft versus overpaying for a guy when we're not there.
I think I disagree because I think you always think about players are always overpaid, and I get tired. Like that's one of my toughest things to listen to. That's why I don't like having a conversation with you about shooters is very difficult because I feel like you obsessed about the cost more than just getting the damn shooter. I feel like it's
yeah, because you know why? You know why? I know you're gonna say that's why you don't. Fair, if you don't come my shot, fair enough.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just
hold on. Let me help you out.
I'm talking about having a conversation with you.
They have a history of giving up a lot for guys who are supposed to do something and it doesn't pan out.
That's PTSD. I don't know how to answer.
Wait, hold on. So if you keep doing keep doing something and expect a different result, what is that? You expect some
PTSD.
Okay, so when we gave up the pick for I think it was for Melo, right? You probably were like Jamal Murray right now, right?
That's all. I feel like this is a PTSD conversation about the past versus being focused on the present. I'm focused on the present. In the present, we need a shooter. If I can get a Gordon Hayward, if I can get a Bogdanovic, if I can get a shooter, I'm gonna get it. I'm not gonna have a PTSD get in my way of getting what I need for the team. And I feel like often
so you find because you have absolutely no idea what the Knicks history is, right? So you're fine with just throwing out a whole bunch of draft picks and selling out everything for guys. For a bunch of guys from different teams who just
you're gonna think that because you're suffering from PTSD. I'm not
suffering from PTSD. Listen to the chat. They're literally saying
I don't care about the chat. I don't care.
No, you do care about the chat.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, you feel about the chat. I don't care about the chat. I'm talking to you. I don't care about that.
Okay, you talk about okay, so I'm the fan you're coming after. I'm the fan you're coming after. I don't want to give up.
As long as you stay with the fact. As long as you talk with the facts. As long as you're talking facts, I'm okay with it. If you want to obsess about the past, I'm talking facts and I'm talking about PTSD. Most fans are too obsessed with this PTSD that gets it. It's all PTSD. It's all PTSD. That's what I'm saying. That's my argument. You're PTSD. I'm not saying that. You're PTSD.
That's why people sometimes just discard what you're saying because you make no sense. If I say that I want shooters in a draft, what is bad about saying I want shooters in a draft?
Making progress with you, my argument to you is making progress with you is very difficult because your PTSD is going to get in your way of signing a player. Yes, it is. Just like Julius Randle in your eyes was overpaid. Every player to you in your eyes is overpaid.
And a lot of people thought that Julius Randle bought into coaching.
Everybody's PTSD is wrong, and they're in their way. That's what they're not. It's hard to make progress in the conversation with you guys. Because your PTSD gets in your way, and y'all need to get away from it.
That's true. Yeah, get going.
Yes, it's all PTSD.
Right. Because Julius Randle was doing last year the same thing he's doing now, right?
Signing
Answer the question. Julius Randle was playing the same way he played last year. Like
I knew he would.
Oh, you knew
he would. Yes, I did. And you did it. And you did it. Why? Because your PTSD got in your way. PTSD got in your way.
I don't want shooters because even though I said
No, you don't. Signing a free agent conversation with you will be very difficult with you. Very difficult. I know what you're going to say. Before you're going to say.
Would you want me to overpay for Gordon Hayward?
There's no such thing as overpaying in free agency. There's no such thing.
Not going to overpay.
The thing is that
benefit analysis. You want us to go out there and pay for guys just because they're shooter. Your PTSD
pass is always going to get in your way. You're never going to sign anybody. You're only going to sign Alec Burks. That's all you're ever going to sign. Because you always That's it. Exactly. You can't sign a good free or Anthony Davis, which is too extreme. So you're either extreme Alec Burks or extreme Anthony Davis. You'll never sign.
PTSD. Yeah, that's all I want to sign. Alec Burks.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
You talk out of your ass, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
No, you don't. You don't.
Hold up.
No,
this is how stupid you sound. I wanted to get CP3. No. I don't want to give him a bunch of ads, but I want to get CP3. What are you talking about?
Exactly. CP3, unless it's a CP3 or Anthony Davis, somebody very extreme, 100% sure, or has to be an Alec Burks.
35 years old and had injuries. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You don't know how to do.
You don't know how to do it in between.
I wanted CP3, and he was hurt last year. You had more injuries.
Like I said before, that's no different. Anthony Davis is no different than CP3. It has to be either Anthony Davis or CP3. Somebody streamed that well.
Anthony Davis was a
somebody very elite. It has to be somebody very elite like Anthony Davis or CP3 or Alec Burks, and that's it. You don't know how to say, you know what? Hey, there's a Gordon Hayward available. We need shooting. We need. Oh, hey, let's get another player. It's too difficult. PTSD is going to get
you. Got you. Because I don't want to go out and buy every player with the team that.
Yes, because of
the same thing. You didn't come after Chuck. It's fine, God.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter because all you do is complain about the fans. Like you literally.
Because you guys,
the fans. I have a problem with the
PTSD always gets in your way. It's fine.
You don't even you don't listen to what I say because every time I have to correct
look, man, I can go back to the videos. We could go to your videos where we're discussing and
let's go. Yes, go to my video. Pick up my video where I don't want to trade for players.
Okay, go on.
I don't want to trade for players. Because I want to build through the draft because the Knicks. Hold up. This is how slow some people are. The Knicks have traded assets for players who are supposed to be something before, and it didn't pan out. We have a history of doing it, and it didn't pan out. And then we sit back and complain about, we could have drafted this player and this player when we see them come due. But now I have PTSD. We literally have been doing this for years, and it has failed. It has failed. What are you talking about, bro? Have we not been doing this for years?
And you can succeed.
Succeed with if you have to sit there and overpay for players to get so-called ready-made assets and you don't win, and we haven't been winning with them. Literally, even with Melo, we traded for Melo, but you could have just brought him over the next year. We traded for Melo. We've been to the playoffs, twice? With Melo, a superstar player? What are you talking about? I have PTSD because I didn't want – and thank you, Glenn Greenstein. Hayward didn't want to come here anyway. What are you talking about with Hayward? Who cares? No, hold on. But AJ saying, look, AJ, all I'm saying is that this new regime, they're rebuilding now. This is not a ready-made team where it's like, we're one piece away from Gordon Hayward. And even when the Hornets made that deal, people were saying, Jordan, okay, if you want to do that, fair enough. People were killing Jordan for the Hayward deal, but yet, like, we were supposed to have Hayward. We have a worse team than the Hornets. If we had Hayward, we're probably still not making the playoffs. They have a better team. Devontae Graham, LaMelo Ball, PJ Washington, Miles Bridges. They have players. We don't have talent. So are you going to bring Hayward here and he's going to take us to the playoffs? Holy crap, dogs. What are you talking about, man?
I'm talking about bringing in players and bringing in shooters. That's all I care about.
Okay, and I said I wanted guys like Brandon Ingram, and he's probably wasn't going to come. But I want to bring in Ingram, give him a free agent deal. Zach LaVine, I have my hesitation with him just because of ACL injuries. Bob also brought up, would you guys bring a Zach LaVine? I say it all the time. And I've softened up to it because, like, look, I'd bring over a wing player over Knox, even though Knox is starting to show now. But I said, I wouldn't mind giving up Zach LaVine if you have to give up a lot of pieces for him. Again, it's how you build a team. Do you want a team to so-called succeed for maybe 1 year here? Then you have to do the rebuild again because you gave us so many assets? Or do you want to do a proper rebuild? What is this PTSD? What were these players that you're going to give up a whole bunch of first-round draft picks for? Who?
Man, I would have – again, and when it comes to free agency, like, I don't know how to say it. I already said I just want to move forward, man. I already know. I feel like I already know what you're gonna say. Like, if this, like, next year's free agents, like, I know you don't want nobody. I know that most fans, we don't want them. We don't need a shooter. We don't need this guy. We don't need nobody.
When did I ever say we don't need nobody?
Same way. I don't think you're too far, and I don't think you're too far.
When have I ever said that, Ralph? That we don't need nobody?
we need all these to build to the draft.
Whoa.
I hear that often
Now
from you.
you're lying on me, bro. Now you're lying on me. I literally talk about the 4 ways that Tom Thibodeau's talk about build this team, and he talks about the draft. That's the only thing. But I've never said we only built it. I've never said that's never come out of my mouth.
That's all you care about. That's all you really care about, though.
All right. Yo, Chuck, you good, bro?
Yeah.
That's all I care about. Just because I bring up the draft, when literally I sit here and talk about building the team various of ways, it's just the free agent class is dead, or it's going to be dead next year. I don't know what guys you're going to trade for, but literally on my last show, I said, would you guys think about trading for, not the show tonight, I literally said, would you guys think about trading for Zach LaVine? You heard that, right? But you said I don't like trading for guys, right? That's you, right? That's you, right? God, you heard that, right? Now you're sleepy, right?
Oh, so sorry.
No. Chuck, have a good night. I've been on here talking to this guy about, I don't know what I'm talking about, because he's literally saying things I have not said. And you can literally go back to my school where literally I said Zach LaVine. Would you guys trade for Zach LaVine? Would you guys trade for a wing? And name the guys that you would trade for.
Yeah, bro. You say something one time, and I heard you all summer.
Yeah. But it's weird. You never hear right. Okay, get where I
never hear right. That's crazy.
I said I wouldn't build it. I only want to build to the draft. Please get where I said that.
That's all you care about. You say no to everything, bro.
Yo,
he said no to everything.
I apologize. I didn't do this a freezy show, man. I'm out. It was my bad to argue with this dude, man. Yo, have a good night, Chuck. I'm out.
Everybody's crazy but you. Everybody, I'm wrong.
I know, Ralph. That's why I'm not gonna say anything. God bless you, Ralph. Peace.
Peace.
Freezy. Free. Oh man. What's good?
What's going on, Chuck?
What's good? See what happened was, what's good? Kev W. What's good? What's good? Simi Sima. What's good? Ralph, take us out. What's good?
Not too much, man.
What's good? Take us out, man.
I don't know.
You don't know, that's it. I don't know how to close it. Freezy got it. This is over. The NBA is a bunch of most of the teams is offensive teams, right? There's very few good defensive teams. It's an offensive league, so it's common to complain about defense. That's not out of the ordinary. It's like that with football too. Most teams are offensive, so fans complain about defense. That don't mean that the Knicks only value defense or the culture is defense when we drafting strictly offensive players. And if it was about defense, Frank would be starting, right? Since he's a better defender than Payton. But instead, he's on his way to getting DNPs. Why would you bring Payton back if it was a defensive culture? Why would you draft Obi, who's terrible on defense? Why would you pay Randle, your highest paid free agent, if you was thinking defense? Randle was not known for defense. Who am I missing?
That's a good take.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing is to that point is, I really do believe Tibbs. Listen, you have to understand that the Tibbs wasn't. I don't think Tibbs was really happy when the Knicks struck out with the Gordon Hayward signing. I think he was. There was like that's when he started having the interview. I might be wrong with my timing, but that's when he started hearing the whole we need to, the Philadelphia 76ers started getting good when they signed Tobias Harris on top of drafting Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. You need to use free agents too. But all summer I kept talking about, listen, man, we need to get a shooter. Even Boston Celtics before this Charlotte Hornets spent $30 million on Gordon Hayward on 2017. The Boston Celtics were spending $35 million on Gordon Hayward, and all you hear is a lot of people saying, "Nah, that's too much money for him. That's too much money." I'm like, why is all these play? It's always a problem with the salary cap, and I don't think it's so much the organization. I think that's where I think Freezy got it wrong, and I mean, sort of got it wrong because we did draft Obi, we did draft Quickley. Kevin Knox is a pretty decent. He's turning out to be a decent 3-point shooter. Who else? Frank Ntilikina went 4 for 4 at one point. I'm not saying he's great, but he's shooting. He's outside shooting the ball, and I think there is a level of value of wanting to shoot the ball. But what upsets me is all summer, man, you can't bring a shooter to New York unless he's like top level defense. And I'm like, man, what's up with that? So that upsets me that all summer I kept talking about, listen, man, one thing that I wanted was I was definitely up for was Buddy Hield or Gordon Hayward to go that, and I wanted to keep Randle all summer. And we need shooting, and now it's becoming obvious. But a lot of people just, hey man, we need to just have better defense. And I'm like, Freezy's right about that. Alejandro was right when he said, listen, I know Knicks fans love the 90s defense, but you need to score in today's league, a 3-point shooting. Bro, that I thought about this show, and I thought about Legion of Knicks podcast. I mean, I like Guillermo, good dude, but I think he loves his defense, and I feel like when it comes to outside shooting, I feel like, he's not here. Well, he is actually in the comments, but I don't really care about the comments when I'm debating. When I'm debating back and forth, I want to hear your points. But if I know that I've been arguing with you all summer about bringing in a shooter and that you've been against it, I'm going to remind you that you've been against outside shooting all summer. I'll let you know. You can't tell me I'm crazy and I've said it one time, but all summer you've been telling me, nah, we don't need that. He doesn't play no defense. Davis Bertans is not a great defender, but he could shoot the ball. Danilo got now at $20 million. He could shoot the ball. Bogdan could shoot the ball. I mean, at what point do we fans value 3-point shooter? And that's what's the problem with this team, I think. The whole team is playing good defense, and we can use. I'm glad Julius Randle's proving people wrong with his outside shooting so far this year. But I don't think most people when it comes to the panel, they don't care about 3-point shooting like that. Most, so I care about the 3-point. Today's league, you have to shoot the ball. You have to shoot the ball.
Well, Wayne Ellington and Bullock was supposed to help with that, plus Portis.
Well, we're talking about below average players. It's not average, very average players. If you can have something above average to go that along with Julius Randle, who I anticipated having a good year, we would be moving a lot forward.
All right, below average players, but they were good shooters.
Wayne Ellington?
Yeah, he was a good shooter, yes.
It's another thing that I was going to bring up. Speaking of defensive teams improving the shooters is Luke Kennard. He's from Duke, and who's also a lefty. He was drafted in 2017. He was coming off the bench for a while and improved his shooting. So I don't know.
Well, the good thing is will be in the draft, and we got a few picks. So I'm pretty sure we'll either address the point guard need or the shooting need. But as far as free agents, don't expect no top free agents to come.
Well, Chuck, my whole thing to that is, you know what upsets me? It's not that I don't expect it. You know what gets me more upset is when I hear if I was to talk to one of the talk to other Knicks fans and they're like, "Nah, we don't need that. We don't care." They're literally telling me all summer we don't value outside shooting, and now they want to act as if, "Oh no, I am pro outside shooting." But you're not. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You can't tell me no all summer, and then because today we see the situation at hand, you're gonna tell me, "Oh, I said this one example, so I am pro outside shooting." No, you're not. You can't tell me no all summer. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So I don't care if you have one example. I have 100 examples all summer. You telling me, "Nah, we don't need that. We don't need those kind of players. We don't need outside shooting." That's overrated. They're overpaid. They're only overpaid because you don't value them. That's why.
Okay.
That's the truth. Players are overpaid because you don't value it. So if you don't value it, take your defense and take your horrible outside shooting.
All right. Well, Knox is gonna have 6 points versus the Nets.
Whatever.
Huh?
I've been going this whole time, and the first thing I hear is Knox going to have 6 points. I mean, don't let me interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Knox will have more than 15
versus the Nets.
They play in Brooklyn, right? Yeah, versus the Nets, more than 15.
Wow. Nah.
Definitely.
Nah, because KD might check if.
Okay. When did KD become Scottie Pippen?
Whoa.
You feel like KD is like a lockdown defender or something, like,
oh my God, really,
all defense or something, like you said, Kevin Durant, like he literally was talking about Scottie Pippen or Gary Payton or somebody. Okay, and
what? I guarantee you, if KD checking him,
and you do realize that KD plays the 4 now, so if anything, he's gonna be on Randle.
Man, KD is not guarding Randle.
Mm-hmm.
But who's guarding him?
Kareem
Prince.
I would say
Allen.
in a situation where Brooklyn is going to protect. Okay,
anybody could guard Mitch.
But somebody has to. So unless you're gonna put Kareem Prince on him, what they're probably not gonna do.
I'll put LeVert on Mitch or Harris.
Lord have mercy.
Anybody could guard Mitch. What are you gonna do?
The point is, I like the matchup for Kevin Knox. So I mean, with Jeff Green, maybe I think he can take old Jeff Green.
Nah, I got him under 10. I'm sorry.
I got him more than 15.
Thank you.
It's on record, so we'll go back to the tape.
Yep. And
I've already proved you wrong on several occasions already.
When?
Dude, you literally moved the goalpost the last time we did this. I had to go back to the tape and call you out.
I missed that tape.
What? Literally, I had literally went back to the tape and found a time that you said, "Oh, he's gonna have 6 points," and then I think it was a Toronto game when he had 16. He's I meant he was gonna have this. You don't remember that? You don't remember this at all?
No. What I said was
now what you said.
Yeah. What I said was I made my prediction thinking that Siakam was playing. That's what I said.
I don't recall this at all, and that shouldn't matter what Kevin Knox does if Siakam is playing.
It does. It should. It's matchups.
Siakam wasn't going to guard Kevin Knox.
How you going to say that? How you know that?
Because Kevin Knox is a wing. Why would he guard Kevin Knox? away from the basket.
Why wouldn't he? It's not like he a center.
He's a power forward.
And don't Kevin Knox be playing power forward?
He's still on the wing. If anything, Siakam is probably one of their better rebounders. Isn't going to be leaving the paint like that. So even if he was, this is more wide open opportunities for Kevin Knox.
Not if he stick on him. What are you talking about? He's versatile enough to play a wing.
Oh, Knox gonna have more than 15.
No, he not.
Wednesday.
No, he not. He gonna have less than 11.
More than 15.
Less than 11.
Well, like I said, we got the tape, and I don't want you to be like come up with some other tomfoolery, some kind of excuse of why something happened. So, I meant if Kyrie Irving played, he wouldn't do this or something like that.
No, Kyrie ain't playing. Kyrie was at a birthday party, so now he got to do that COVID thing.
I'm just saying that I don't want you to use it as an excuse.
If
he did do that, if Kevin does go, Kyrie Irving didn't play, so that's why he scored this much.
No, I would only say that for Durant. If Durant don't play, he might get that 16.
So let's say, let's just say a hypothetical. Let's say he does score more than 15 and Durant does play. Does your opinion of him? Because let me ask you a question. Will your opinion of him change? Will it teeter? Like, oh, okay, I'm starting to see something a little bit more.
After one game, no.
After two, let's say the Brooklyn game. Because that'll be 2 games in a row.
No, that's the next game. Brooklyn's the next game.
I mean, after this game and the Brooklyn game, because it's not just one game. That'll be 2 games.
Yeah, that'll be 2. Well, today was they left him open in the first half.
I mean, isn't okay? So
I mean, he's still got to make the shot.
Yeah, exactly. He's supposed to do that. That's the purpose. I thought that was basketball. Like, oh, they leave me open. Let me go ahead and make the shot.
Yeah,
so that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I credit him for making the shot, but I also gotta say it was bad defense.
Okay, again, that's your job is to make the defense pay, right?
No.
Open. Okay, let me hit the shot.
But there was no defense to pay. That's what I'm saying. It was just they ignored him like he wasn't there until the second half.
That's Kevin Knox's fault?
No, it's not. But I'm saying I'm giving him credit for making a shot. But I also got
okay. Let's say so. Are you trying to say that Brooklyn's gonna have more respect for him, or are they gonna forget about him too?
That's why I named Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant, he ain't gonna allow that.
That's probably not even gonna be his man. You know that, right? 9 times out of 10, Kevin Durant's not gonna be guarding Kevin Knox.
I think he will, because it's a rest type thing. Yeah. you always put your best player, especially when Kyrie ain't there, so he gonna have to carry the load. So you put him on the player that's not gonna make him work on defense.
Well, he guard Mitch. Since you just say anybody can guard Mitch.
He can guard Mitch. I could see that too. So when Knox ain't on the floor, he'll probably guard Mitch. Either way. They both self-check.
Well, Kevin Knox self-checked himself to 19 points tonight. Led the team in scoring.
Yeah, two in the second half.
Well, that shows you how much better he did than everybody else in the first half. Then, because if I'm not mistaken, in the first half he's the only one in double digits.
At halftime.
Yeah, at halftime he was the only Knick in double digits. So
probably. Yeah, because he started going nuts. So yeah.
So at the point, I mean, hey, all Kevin Knox has to do is hit shots. I believe wholeheartedly Kevin Knox can hit shots. He just has to take them.
Yeah, so you got to rely on the defense ignoring them.
I think no, because here's the thing: a lot of his shots were still contested shots. They weren't wide open shots. There was a hand up in his face on a couple of them, and he still made them.
No, that was in the second half.
No, in the first half there was a couple of them.
Oh nah.
He wasn't just wide open by 10 feet.
8 feet.
Anyways, over 15, Kevin Knox against. As a matter of fact, I foresee. I'm a visionary on this one. I foresee Kevin Knox getting nothing but double digits moving on out. I think Tom Thibodeau is going to be like, you know what? I messed up. Let me get one of my team's better shooters, more opportunities to shoot the ball.
All right. I'm going to correct your vision since you're a visionary.
Definitely.
And
Let me ask you, I'm going to ask you this question. Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you rather see take 15 shots? Just shots.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Knox or Elfrid Payton?
Payton.
Chuck, you don't even believe that.
Payton, because
Chuck, you don't even believe that, Chuck.
Now I'm
Chuck,
gonna
why
tell
are
you
you
why.
telling these lies, Chuck?
I'm gonna tell you why. 10 of them gonna be in the paint.
No, I said shots. I said, who would you rather see? Not drop layups, shots. 10,
That's a shot.
15 shots. No, 15 jump shots.
Oh, not you got to specify jump shots.
15 jump shots.
You can't just say shots and all right, jump
Okay,
shots.
15 jump shots.
Knox.
Okay.
That's not fair over Payton.
I mean, because okay, let's say how many jump shots do you think Elfrid Payton takes a game? Let's say he takes
Probably
let's
4.
Say he takes 15. Let's say he takes 15 shots. How many of those are jump shots? Not just 3-point shots, just jump shots.
Probably 4.
4. So he's missing 11 layups a game, pretty much.
He missing a lot of. He ain't shooting that bad. Talk about he missing 11 layups.
There's games where Elfrid Payton is going like 4. I'm gonna pull up his chart. So I'm not.
Oh,
you're
about to mess up now.
I'm gonna pull up his chart, and we gonna find out his shooting percentage.
You about to mess up. You about to mess up. I don't think you want to do that now. He's shooting 45%.
Okay, so 3 for 7.
He's shooting 45% on the year.
0 for 6.
But forget all that. He's shooting 45%. I'm telling you.
12 for 16. 6 for 15. 7 for 12. 8 for 17. 6 for 18. 10 for 15.
Great.
4 for 16. 4 for 10.
Not bad.
So
4 for 10 ain't bad. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that's not even tonight's game. So tonight he went. Let me find out what he did tonight.
Let me put it like this: he's a career 45% shooter. Knox is 36, I believe.
Bigger sample size, don't you think?
Talking Joe Harris? Who we talking about?
Talking about Elfrid Payton.
Oh, Elfrid Payton.
Yeah, 36.
And so tonight he was 5 for 18. So
45% field goal percentage compared to 36 by Knox.
So
and you
bigger
call
sample size, right?
You call that a shooter? He shoot 36%.
No. Mitchell Robinson shot 73%. Does that make him a shooter?
Oh no.
Okay then. So that number is a little bit deceiving, isn't it?
No,
you wouldn't call Elfrid Payton a shooter.
No.
Would you call Elfrid Payton a shooter?
No, I'm not. I'm saying
so that number is deceiving, isn't it?
No, you said Knox was a shooter. Wait a minute. No, you said Knox was a shooter.
Everything shoots 45%. That means he's a shooter.
Now we're not talking about Payton. You said Knox was a shooter and he shoots 36%.
When the comparison was Elfrid Payton, and you said, Elfrid Payton shoots 45% from the field.
Forget about Payton. We talking about being a shooter.
I'm comparing him to Elfrid Payton.
No.
I would rather have Elfrid Payton take more shots because she shoots 45% from the field.
Yeah,
that's what you said.
Yeah, that's before I thought I didn't know you were talking strictly jump shots.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'd rather have Knox take the shots. But my point is, without Payton, you labeled Knox a shooter earlier. You said
he was a shooter.
In my cases, shooters don't shoot 36% from the field. and only 33% from three.
Hold on. He doesn't shoot 36% from the field. Hold on. Let me find something else. So shooters.
That's not a shooter.
Shoot 36% from the field. You said that, right?
Yeah. No shooter shoots 36% from the field.
No shooter shoots
No
36% from the field.
No shooter.
In their first or second year.
Oh, don't go by the second.
No, because that's what we got to go by, right?
No, this is his.
Like Knox is an 8-9 year veteran.
You calling him a shooter now?
Is Kevin Knox an 8-9 year veteran? So we can only go by his first 2 years. So let's look at shooters in their first 2 years.
No, but
if you want to make it that way, right?
No. But
if you're a shooter, you've been a shooter your whole career, right? Don't change the narrative because it's either or. Because if that's the case, then we shouldn't count Knox's first 2 years. We're not going to count anybody else's first 2 years.
But in that case, no, in that case, we probably wasn't calling those people shooters yet. Whoever you're about to look up, we probably wasn't calling them shooters yet. I don't know who you're about to look up, but you're gonna fail.
I can look up a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure shooters were shooting that low, 36% from the field.
None of them.
None of them. Okay, let me prove you wrong.
None of them.
Now, from the field or from three?
No, from the field.
From the field. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Because what is he using from three his first 2 years?
$34 and $32.
So 30,
under league average, both under league average. What I call a shooter is Kyle Carver.
So Kyle Korver is the only shooter.
That's my thing of a shooter.
What about Luke Kennard? You don't think he's a shooter? Luke Kennard is a good shooter too.
You gonna look up Luke Kennard before he answers.
Joe Harris is a good shooter.
Before he answers, he will. Yeah.
Joe Harris is a good shooter.
Yeah, Harris.
Okay. Who's another guard? I think Gordon Hayward is a good shooter. He should be fine. I mean, if you want to go, that's tough. That's upper echelon, right? Buddy Hield. I mean, Buddy Hield sometimes struggles with his shot because sometimes he takes too many shots. Who else is a? But if the Sacramento Kings want to get rid of him,
hold up. Harris is 48% from the field, 43% from three.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shooter.
Is that this year?
No, career.
Oh.
I mean, I can continue if you want.
This year he's 51% from two and 50% from three.
I mean, Alec Burks
that's gonna go down anyways. So.
Alec Burks is a good shooter for her, but he can only play so many games. But we need a more somebody who can play a bigger role. Who else can be a good shooter?
Well, as I said, Kevin Knox is on his way to being a good shooter. Can I say that?
I agree.
Can I say that?
All right,
you can say that.
All right, so don't call him a shooter yet.
This season, I think I can call him a shooter. And these are the first 11 games, I think I can call him a shooter.
You know that's too small a sample size because those going to go down just like you said Harris is going to go down.
Ain't nobody shooting 50% from three at the rate that Joe Harris shoots.
And Knox ain't shooting 40% from three at the rate he shoot.
I don't know. I think the tides are turning on Knox. When he puts up that 18 on Wednesday.
No, now it's 18.
I mean, it's more than 15. I said more than 15.
Okay,
all right. Anything more than 15.
Okay, good.
If I say 18, I mean.
All right, good. Freezy. How his thing come on and he freeze.
Yo, did anyone know where Alonzo Trier went in the draft?
He was undrafted.
Wow, he was undrafted?
Yeah.
Hey, Kev, how much longer you want to go?
I'm actually about to hop off.
Okay. All right. Well, I can wrap it up right here then.
Freeze, before you do, sometime when I'm waiting for people to talk, I look down at my phone and be texting or whatever, and you be thinking I'm sleeping, and you kick me off. You did it last night and the night before.
No, I know. I got you last night. That I didn't get you the night before. That might have been StreamYard, but I did get you last night though. I didn't know.
Yeah,
Crazy. I just want you to know that Chuck said that Wednesday against Brooklyn,
not to have
Knox
under.
less
I
than 11.
heard you. I heard you. I'm here.
Okay.
And I said more than 15. So you and God of Moses and Elijah are my witnesses. I don't want y'all to have Chuck let him off easy and want him to move the goalposts like he usually does.
If Durant plays.
All right.
Oh Lord.
All right. Well,
There it goes.
Hey, so we can. So right now is a good stopping point for us, man. We could just pick it up on next morning drive. Hey, thanks y'all too, man.
All right.
And,
All right, y'all.
Shout out to my guy Guillermo. Man, we argued today, but that's still my guy. Okay.